मैंने आपको विचारों की स्पष्टता सुनी है, भारत के प्रति आपका मान सम्मान का भाव देखा है और इसके लिए मैं भी आपका बहुत आभारी हूं। और राष्ट्रपति जी, आज मुझे मौका है जब मैं आपके पास आया हूं, भारत के लोग आपका स्वागत करने के लिए बहुत उत्सुक हैं और इसलिए मैं विशेष रूप से आपको भारत आने का निमंत्रण देता हूं और मैं आपसे आग्रह करूंगा कि सिर्फ दिल्ली आकर के मत जाना, कुछ समय ज्यादा निकालना ताकि भारत के अन्य कुछ स्थानों को भी, वहां के लोगों को भी आपका स्वागत करने का अवसर मिले।
Prime Minister Modi, your visit to Israel is exciting the Israeli people with your friendship, with your honesty and frankness, and with the expression of compassion and alliance with Israel and its story. I believe that India is an essential part of the great future of the Middle East. And the Middle East is an essential part of the great future of India. I saw your record number of growth. Your economic growth is something that is attracting the whole world. It's fantastic. And I wanted to suggest in practicality that, we see the young Indian people all over the world with their brains and innovation. We see them in universities and colleges and research centers, of course, in India. And I think that with the various changes in the geostrategic situation, including in the possibility of learning in higher institutions around the world, Indian universities and Israeli universities have a golden opportunity of sharing know-how together for the future of our young generations. And I encourage your brilliant young Indian students to come to study in Israel, and I encourage the Israeli brilliant students to study in India. And I believe, in conclusion, that the fact that this connectivity between Israel and India can change the entire geostrategic situation towards the advantages of the global south and the connectivity between even the United States to Southeast Asia through the Eastern Hemisphere. So, we know you lead the world in so many fields, and we are very moved and excited that you're here with us. Toda rabba.
Thank you, Excellency. राष्ट्रपति जी, आपने जिस उम्दा शब्दों से हम सबका स्वागत किया है, इसके लिए मैं आपका बहुत बहुत आभारी हूं। और मैं देख रहा हूं कि कल से जिस प्रकार से मेरा और मेरे डेलीगेशन का इजराइल में स्वागत सम्मान हुआ है, वो भारत के प्रति, भारतीयों के प्रति इजराइल के दिलों में जो गहरा लगाव है उसका प्रतिबिंब है और इसके लिए मैं बहुत बहुत आभार व्यक्त करता हूं। एक्सेलेंसी, आपने सही कहा कि भारत और इजराइल का संबंध अनेक क्षेत्रों में बड़ी मजबूती के साथ ग्लोबल गुड के लिए काम आ सकता है। साइंस हो, इनोवेशन हो, एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशंस हो, और कुछ चीजों में तो आपने बहुत बड़ी महारत है, खास करके पानी के संबंध में, एग्रीकल्चर के संबंध में। और भारत इजराइल की बहुत सी अच्छी चीजों को आज भी भारत में, खास करके एग्रीकल्चर में, लागू करने का प्रयास करता है और उसके अच्छे परिणाम भी निकल रहे हैं। राष्ट्रपति जी, मेरी खुशी है कि मुझे इसके पहले भी आपको अलग अलग जगह पे मिलने का मौका मिला है। मैंने आपको विचारों की स्पष्टता सुनी है, भारत के प्रति आपका मान सम्मान का भाव देखा है और इसके लिए मैं भी आपका बहुत आभारी हूं। और राष्ट्रपति जी, आज मुझे मौका है जब मैं आपके पास आया हूं, भारत के लोग आपका स्वागत करने के लिए बहुत उत्सुक हैं और इसलिए मैं विशेष रूप से आपको भारत आने का निमंत्रण देता हूं और मैं आपसे आग्रह करूंगा कि सिर्फ दिल्ली आकर के मत जाना, कुछ समय ज्यादा निकालना ताकि भारत के अन्य कुछ स्थानों को भी, वहां के लोगों को भी आपका स्वागत करने का अवसर मिले।
तो उसमें आप कौन सा केबल का?
All right, so these are the latest visuals coming in. The PM Modi holds bilateral meet with Israeli president, and Israeli president says India has shown support, and PM Modi holds bilateral talks with Israeli President Isaac Herzog. On your television screen, latest update in this visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Israel. Now, these are the bilaterals that are happening, and earlier, PM visited the Holocaust Museum also, and he paid tribute to the 6 million Jews who were killed in the Holocaust. And now it's the bilateral that is happening between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the President of Israel. Live visuals on your television screen from Israel, from Jerusalem. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is on a 2-day visit. Now, the visit will conclude today at around 4:50, around 5 p.m. PM Modi will depart from Israel for New Delhi. Live visuals coming in from Jerusalem. All right. Our senior executive editor, Abhishek Kapoor, is joining us live on a phone line to speak on this issue. Abhishek, this is very important, the bilateral meeting that is happening right now between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Israeli President. What more details?
Well, this is before the delegation talks. This is like it happens in a state visit. The leaders meet all the principals. So, President of Israel, Isaac Herzog, and he posted an hour back his welcome of Prime Minister Modi with a video of the kind of preparation that have gone in at the presidential palace or presidential house. And now we are seeing these pictures of Prime Minister meeting Herzog. These are still not those delegation level talks where a substantive move would happen on taking the overall India-Israel relationship forward to the next level, where we are expecting that there might be an upgrade from a plain vanilla strategic partnership to a special privileged partnership. The announcement might happen during the joint statement, but we have to wait for a while for that. Very few engagements left of the Prime Minister now. From here, he would be heading to the delegation talks, then the joint statement. Remember, Prime Minister has traveled with a high-powered delegation with all the principals insofar as India's foreign policy and national security establishment is concerned, led by S. Jaishankar and NSA Ajit Doval, respectively. And so you can expect that the two sides are going to make a bold statement of intent in terms of securing and furthering the bonds and the strength of the relationship even further. But as of now, we are getting pictures of Prime Minister engaging with Isaac Herzog, the President of Israel.
Yes.
And after that, the delegation level talks, and then the joint statement, after which the Prime Minister would be emplaning back for New Delhi.
Yes. Yes, Abhishek, also it's important to mention that it's not just about the MOUs that will be signed, the deals which will be happening, and the technology that will be transferred. It's also the people-to-people connect. The way Benjamin Netanyahu welcomed Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he said that he's not a friend, he's more than a friend, he's a brother. And also the mention by Prime Minister Narendra Modi that the Indian Jewish community lived in India always, fearlessly, speaks a lot, speaks volumes, Abhishek.
Well, yes. So, I mean, from the moment that Prime Minister Modi has landed in Tel Aviv yesterday to the time now, effectively you have seen PM Netanyahu accompanying him to every event. And that really gives you an idea of the kind of backing or support or, going that extra mile that's happening from the Israeli side. The fact that their Prime Minister is at every event where Prime Minister has made an appearance, including the Yad Vashem Memorial. And then that coming to the people-to-people connect. Remember the speech that Prime Minister Modi made to the Israeli Knesset, becoming first Indian Prime Minister to be doing that. He mentioned how from the ancient times to the present times, the Jewish community in India, from the northeast to Mumbai, and down south to Karnataka, they have made a tremendous contribution to India first, and then, of course, by way of migration back to Israel, to the Israeli nation, modern nation as well. He specifically mentioned half
right.
a dozen names,
Yes,
including
yes.
General J.F.R. Jacob. So,
Yes. Thanks a lot.
And breaking news coming in, Kerala Story 2 case update. Court directs the CBFC to consider the petitioner's representation and decide the matter within 2 weeks and grant an interim stay on the film. It's a big setback coming in for the Kerala Story 2 filmmakers. And an interim stay in this case on the film is being granted. And it is likely to be granted rather. In fact, the petitioner's representation and the decision of the matter within 2 weeks. And we will get in more details. It is coming in as a big setback because there were several petitions that were filed in front of the court challenging the... All right, Sarthak, my colleague, joins us live on the broadcast. Sarthak, it's coming in as a big setback for Kerala Story 2, with the court directing the CBFC to consider the petitioner's representation and decide the matter within 2 weeks, and also granting an interim stay on the film.
Yes, Priyanka, absolutely. However, the court has not directly banned the film permanently, but it's an interim stay, meaning that the film cannot be released or screened for now. The court has directed the Central Board of Film Certification, CBFC, to consider the petitioner's representation and complaint and his objection in this matter. CBFC will have to now examine the objections that have been raised by the complainant, and which talks about alleged defamation to the Kerala state, because the Kerala Story, the entire title, the issue around the title of the film is that it defames the state of Kerala, and some things that have been mentioned in the teaser and the trailer of the film that happens to be derogatory and defamatory towards the state of Kerala. It hurts religious sentiments. There is a misrepresentation of facts in this movie. This is threat to the public order. There is this also violation of the certification rules, the certification that is granted by CBFC. At this point, CBFC has given a strict timeline of 2 weeks to take the action. This means the court is saying that CBFC has to apply its mind to this case, and as of now, the Supreme Court has put a stay on the release of the film, so the film cannot be released in theaters for now. One point that Supreme Court was mentioning on the last date of hearing as well, the Kerala High Court was mentioning on the last date of hearing as well, is that we cannot get to a plausible conclusion till the time we do not really watch the movie. So they were insisting of screening the film in the open court,
right,
because the complaint has been filed against the teaser and the trailer and the kind of content that has been shown in the teaser and the trailer. The defense says that the content on the film differs from the teaser and the trailer, and it's a bit presumptuous on their end to make any kind of complaints just by watching teaser and trailer. But for now, 2 weeks stay has been put on the movie. That is something that we have learned so far about this entire issue. Back to the studio.
Sarthak, appreciate you giving us the details, but let me also go across to my colleague Sankar joining us from Thiruvananthapuram. Sankar, it is a big setback coming in for the Kerala Story 2, and with the fact that for 2 weeks there is going to be an interim stay on the film, and there are other notifications also issued at this point in time. What is the lookout of the petitioners now, and what are the other developments coming in?
The petition, the plea filed by Sridev Nambudiri, a Kannur resident, seeking to ban the release of the movie was considered by the court for the last couple of days, and today the final, not the final verdict, but today the court, the High Court, issued a temporary stay on the release of the movie for 15 days, and in the meantime, the CBFC has to screen the movie again with the participation of the people who filed the plea, with the representation of the people, Sridev Nambudiri and others who filed the plea, and after 15 days, the court will convene again to hear the matter, and the concerns of the petitioners will be heard again to take a final decision whether to cut some parts of the movie or to permanently cancel the release of the movie. That decision will be taken after 15 days. When after 15 days and in the 15 days time, the CBFC has to arrange a screening venue for the to have through an advocate expressing all their concerns, and the court will again hear the matter in 15 days. The matter was supposed to be heard in the morning on Thursday, but as a defense, the producer of the movie filed a plea before the court, stating that if the matter is considered the morning, they would get enough time to approach the upper court to have a stay on the order being passed by the High Court, but the court did not consider the matter in the morning and posted it for hearing afternoon, and at exactly at 2 o'clock the court convened again and released a much awaited verdict in which it stayed the movie for 15 days by giving some observations that even just by watching the teaser, the 2-minute teaser of the movie, a person or anybody can understand there are some contents that affects the contents that affect the religious harmony of the state, and the concerns of the concerns of the petitioner that the movie has full of misinformation and lies cannot be discarded, and it has to be addressed because it's a matter that affects the religious harmony of the state. So the 15 days time was given for the screening the movie by CBFC and the union government, and the court also criticized serious lapse from the side of CBFC in granting permission for the release of such a movie, because the court said there are contents that affects the religious harmony of the state, and it should not have been given release permission without screening the movie properly. So the concerns of the petitioner was accepted by the court, and in the 15 days there will be a screening of this movie will take place, and the time and venue of the time and venue will be announced, will have to be informed to the court by the petitioner in the coming days, and for doing all these things, for informing the court about the venue, the time and the screening done, and the concerns of both the petitioners and even the defense at the producer side will have to be submitted before the court in 15 days, and the court will convene again at a time after 15 days to give a final order whether to allow the release of the movie or to cut some parts of it and take some other decision.
That's right. Stay on with us. Let me also go back to Sarthak. Sarthak, the court says that the movie could affect religious harmony in Kerala, and for the fact that there is going to be an interim stay for 2 weeks now, a movie which was supposed to be released on Friday. What lies ahead?
Right now the court is not deciding the merits of the controversy right now. The interim stay ensures that the film is not released before CBFC reconsiders the matter. The issue does not become irreversible. Once released, the issue will become irreversible if after 2 weeks, if CBFC rejects the objections, the stay may be vacated. However, if CBFC in some or the other way modifies or entirely withdraws the certification, then the producers might go ahead with challenging that withdrawal of certification with further legal follow-ups. And then there is a possibility that parties may again approach the court depending upon the outcome of the case. Back to the studio.
That's right. More and more updates coming in. Let me now go back to Sankar joining us from Kerala here. Sankar, help our viewers understand the entire controversy that went on behind this film and the efforts to not release these films, and also for the fact that, there are several religious sentiments that are being hurt.
Yes, sir. Some days back, the teaser of this movie was released and it was shared by millions across the world and even in Kerala. And there were the social media was flooded with comments in favor of this movie and also against the movie. And in the meantime, adding fuel to the controversy, as Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan has shared a Facebook post in a strongly worded statement. He criticized the release of the movie and even the producers for trying to destroy the religious harmony in the state. He said even the first part of the movie had a whole lot of lies and blatant misinformation. And this second part of the movie is also being planned to repeat the same thing against Kerala. He stated before his Facebook page that Kerala stands as a beacon of social harmony and other virtual qualities. And this movie is intended only to destroy its virtual qualities and its religious harmony. Soon and days later, a person from Kannur approached the High Court with a plea seeking to ban the ban the release of this movie. And there were allegations that this particular person, the petitioner, was making deliberate delays in approaching the court. As it would, had he been approached earlier, then the producers of the movie would get enough time if the verdict is against them, so that they can go to the upper court and get some orders in favor of them. But with a deliberate intention to avoid giving time to the producers of the movie, the petitioner approached the High Court in a very late moment, just 3 or 4 days ahead of the release of this movie, and this provided no room or no opportunity for the producers of the movie to challenge the verdict which is being passed by the High Court in Kerala. This movie, some section of the society was against the release of the movie, and some the SFI, the left student being even conducted a beef festival across Kerala, campaigning against the release of the movie, and some other organizations criticized holding such events such as beef festival, and they openly provided beef and parota to the public with an intention to openly challenge the release of this movie. But other Muslims organizations were against holding such events, but in fact a section of the society, over 50% of the 50 or 60% of the society was against the release of the movie, even without seeing what was inside, just by seeing the teaser of 2-minute teaser. In the 2-minute teaser, there were some mention of beef and religious conversion and radicalization, but a section of the society believed that such mispractices are not there in the society, because but the Republic TV held an investigation some weeks back and found such practices, such radicalized practices, and even the conversions exist in Kerala. And we could even speak to some local CPM leaders in Kasaragod, and he even admitted such religious practices, such radicalized activities that take place in Kerala. And the movie was fully exposing such practices that exist in Kerala. But the producers of the movie stated before the court that he was not exposing the issues that is being exposing the issues which is relevant not only in Kerala but also in other states like Rajasthan, UP and all.
Right. Thank you for joining us, Sarthak and Sankar for all the details that we're tracking on this breaking updates. With that, we shift our focus now, viewers, to more news and updates coming in. Home Minister Amit Shah addressed a public gathering in Bihar's Araria after inaugurating 2 new border outposts, Leti and Indarva, and laying the foundation for several projects of the Sahastra Seema Bal. In his address, Shah focused sharply on border security, infiltration and illegal encroachment in the Seemanchal region.
हमने चुनाव में बिहार की जनता को वादा किया था कि हम बिहार को घुसपैठियों से मुक्त करेंगे। घुसपैठियों से मुक्ति से मतलब सिर्फ मतदाता सूची से नाम हटाना नहीं, हम कृतनिश्चयी है कि एक एक घुसपैठिए को भारत की भूमि से चुन चुन कर भारत के बाहर भेजने का कार्यक्रम करेंगे। और भारतीय जनता पार्टी स्पष्ट कर देना चाहती है, मेरी सरकार भी स्पष्ट करना चाहती है कि वादा चुनावी वादा नहीं है। नरेंद्र मोदी सरकार का ये दृढ़ संकल्प है कि पूरे देश को हम घुसपैठियों से मुक्त करेंगे और ये पूरे सीमांचल क्षेत्र में ये शुरुआत कुछ ही समय में होने जा रही है। मैं खुद चुनाव के वक्त 4 दिन सीमांचल में रहा था, हर जिले में गया हूं और ये वादा किया है जनता को कि हम पूरे सीमांचल को घुसपैठियों से मुक्त करेंगे। आमतौर पर नेताओं के वादे जनता को याद कराना पड़ता है, मगर आज मैं सीमांचल की जनता को मेरा वादा याद कराने आया हूं, क्योंकि मुझे सीमांचल की जनता का सहयोग चाहिए। घुसपैठिए सीट हमारे चुनाव को प्रभावित नहीं करते हैं, गरीबों के राशन में भी वो हिस्सा ले जाते हैं, हमारी रोजगारी में भी हमारे युवाओं की सारी संभावनाओं को क्षीण करते हैं और इसके साथ साथ राष्ट्र की सुरक्षा के लिए भी एक घुसपैठिए बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज है।
Viewers, breaking news coming in. There's another case registered against Anil Ambani by the CBI. That's a big breaking development coming in. The crackdown is only increasing on Anil Ambani. There's another case which has been registered against Anil Ambani. On one hand, he's already being questioned by the Enforcement Directorate, and on the other hand, the CBI has registered a fresh case on Anil Ambani. We will be getting in more details on this. But there are several angles that are now being scrutinized, whether there were loans that were taken from the Chinese banks and also the loans that were taken on accounts of his own goodwill and other updates that are coming in. But the breaking news that we have right now, that CBI has filed fresh case against Anil Ambani as he continues to remain under scrutiny, under lens of the investigating agencies in connection with the 40,000 crore bank fraud case under the PMLA, which is linked to the money laundering case. He entered the probe agency's office at around 10:30 a.m., that is the Enforcement Directorate, who are questioning Anil Ambani, and his multiple group companies are facing the allegations of loan fraud, with the ED recently constituting a SIT to probe all the instances. And Sarthak joins me for more on this. Sarthak, with one hand, Anil Ambani under the scanner and being questioned by the Enforcement Directorate, the CBI has come and they have filed another case against Anil Ambani. Help us with the details.
Yes, Chaka, Republic has been in the forefront where we are aggressively tracking the entire case. And there are several developments happening in this. And the latest that we know of, Republic has been able to gain access of the FIR that has been registered against Anil Ambani, Reliance Communications and other entities. The FIR was filed on a complaint that was made by Bank of Baroda, which stressed upon assets management, which was stressed by the assets management branch in Mumbai, The case was registered under several sections of IPC 120B, which happens to be which relates to criminal conspiracy, IPC 420, which amounts to cheating, and also prevention of corruption provisions have also been added in the FIR. The offences that have been alleged in the FIR go from the period from 2013 to 2017. The fraud amount details that has been mentioned in the FIR, it's a little over 2,000 crores. The total sanctioned facilities that we know of it's a little around 2,500 crores. And after the forensic audit, the claims have been made that there was systematic diversion and misuse of borrowed funds. There was somehow routing money by Reliance Telecommunications through some group entities and these transactions included companies like Reliance Telecommunications, Reliance Infratel Limited, Reliance Telecom Limited. There was somehow some amount of recycling and layering funds was done by these companies to in some way camouflage the end use. Also there are other allegations been pressed in the FIR, manipulation of books of account, some misrepresentation of financial health. So several allegations and several provisions of the IPC have been pressed in the FIR. ED is also investigating the matter. Anil Ambani is still at the ED office where they are constantly questioning him about the loan fraud, about the financial transactions that are made by these companies. To remind the viewers, however, this may not be part of the actual investigation that is being done by ED, but they may also consider the fact that this is not the first time Reliance Communications or Anil Ambani has been under the radar of loan fraud, because details has also been brought in led by Republic, where Reliance Communication also made was under the radar of loan fraud with some Chinese companies. A case was filed by these Chinese companies in.
Right. Sarthak, thank you for giving us the details on that story, and we will be tracking the minute-to-minute updates as the crackdown grows on Anil Ambani. But it's time we dip into a short commercial break. More news and updates on the other side. Let's take a look what's coming up next. Republic accesses exclusive video of the face-off between Himachal and Delhi police. Accused brought back to Delhi.
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा प्योर मसाला
Amity has been ranked India's #1 not-for-profit private university for 11th year, with top 10 ranked institutions in management, engineering, biotech, law, masscom, telecom, hospitality, fashion and more. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला। MDH।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा
Now here's the reality, it's fact not fiction. You are sitting on a plane.
Our pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
केसरिया से मन जोगी
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
Now here's the reality. It's fact, not fiction. You are sitting on a plane. You're boarding the plane in the national capital of India for Leh at 6:08 in the morning. It's a SpiceJet plane. 6 minutes into the take, against the backdrop of daybreak and a beautiful sunrise, you suddenly look to your right towards the wings and you see the flames of fire on the wings of the plane. Your plane is on fire. Ladies and gentlemen, these are real visuals. This is the reality that the Civil Aviation Minister does not want you to see. This is the reality SpiceJet does not want you to see. This is the reality DGCA does not want you to see. Because at the cockpit, at that very moment while you're sitting in the plane, there are calls of Mayday, 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 Mayday. That is a flight emergency. The flight circles back. There's engine failure in one of the engines, lands at 6:49 p.m. Ladies and gentlemen, and as you get off the plane, you realize
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता, उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ,
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
We are live and we are breaking. I'm Shivangi Shukla getting you the latest coming in. There are a lot of breaking updates for you here. We'll also tell you more about the self-styled Godman, Shankaracharya, who has been booked in the Pocso case. There is a reaction coming in from him. All this and much more coming up, but the headlines first. Let's get started. The top headlines that we are tracking for you right now. Anil Ambani reaches the ED office in New Delhi in connection to probe the money laundering case. Republic accesses files which shows Anil Ambani owed money to Chinese lenders. Anil Ambani linked companies receive funds from Chinese banks. Anil owes rupees 13,558 crores to Chinese lenders. Republic has accessed exclusive videos of the face-off between Himachal and the Delhi police. And the Western Command of Indian Army today conducts a military exercise in Pathankot. Troops who demolished Pakistan during Operation Sindoor took part.
And starting off with some breaking news coming in, the self-styled Godman has now dismissed all the claims against him. That's right. Big updates coming in here on Republic TV. The controversial self-styled Shankacharya dismisses all the claims against him, calling them absolutely fake, and has called it the misuse of government, judiciary and the police. It's a huge update coming in. This is Swami Avimuktesha Anand. Also had moved the Allahabad High Court seeking anticipatory bail in the Pocso case, and he has denied all the allegations against him. He says the UP police and the administration is working together to come up with a fake case against him. Controversial self-styled gunman has dismissed all the claims against him. The FIR was made against him, was registered on the direction of a special court in Prayagraj. A court had ordered the police to act on a complaint filed by 2 minors who alleged sexual abuse by the accused during a recent Magh Mela in Prayagraj. So there is all these updates coming in because we see that there is a Pocso case against the self-styled Godman. He is denying all the allegations. We have that statement in the denial that has come in. Let's play it out.
जांच टीम अपना काम कर रही है। उसकी तरफ से आशुतोष ब्रह्मचारी ने प्रेस वार्ता करके सारी रिपोर्ट आप लोगों को बताई है। हमने तभी कहा था कि जांच टीम क्या कर रही है, इसकी आख्या अगर शिकायतकर्ता के द्वारा, किसी हिस्ट्री शीटर के द्वारा पब्लिक में बताई जाएगी तो पुलिस का क्या प्रभाव रहेगा। खैर, अब आप कह रहे हैं कि जांच रिपोर्ट के बारे में वो पब्लिकली बता रहे हैं आप लोगों को, तो ये तो रिपोर्ट सार्वजनिक होती नहीं है, और होती भी है तो पुलिस विभाग के द्वारा होनी चाहिए। उनके माध्यम से क्यों आ रही है? क्या परमानेंट प्रवक्ता अपना उत्तर प्रदेश पुलिस ने उनको बना लिया है? ये सवाल है।
And tension has escalated in Maharashtra's Malegaon after a civic protest over road repairs took a religious turn inside the municipal corporation office. What began as a demand for infrastructure fixes has now led to the police action and many more political reactions coming in. Let's go ahead and play out that story for you.
Over the last 1 month, communal tensions have been simmering in pockets of Maharashtra. One such incident is reported from Malegaon this time. A video of government employees inside the Malegaon Municipal Corporation office has gone viral. They entered the electricity department premises and offered namaz while demanding road repairs in the area. This move triggered sharp reactions from the local Hindu groups. The next day, Hindu protesters gathered at the municipal commissioner's office. They recited the Hanuman Chalisa inside the building. Slogans were raised, escalating tensions further. Police had to intervene as the situation intensified. An FIR has been registered against 7 individuals. Charges include unlawful assembly and obstruction of a public servant. Sections of the Maharashtra Police Act have also been invoked. Various political leaders raised concerns for the same. BJP leader Kirit Somaiya demanded strict action.
मालेगांव महापालिका में सरकारी कर्मचारी और कुछ नागरिक नमाज भी पढ़ने लगे हैं। मुख्यमंत्री देवेंद्र फडणवीस जी से भी मैंने प्रार्थना की है, ये सब सरकारी अधिकारियों को ताबड़तोड़ सस्पेंड करना चाहिए।
Maharashtra Minister Nitish Rane also jumped in, reacting strongly to the development. Authorities say the situation is currently tense but under control. Security has been tightened as the investigation continues.
At a press conference by the Indian Army, we saw the Western Army Commander, Lieutenant General Manoj Kumar Katiyar, warned Pakistan of ground invasion. This warning was given, cautioning Pakistan against going ahead and taking any kind of liberties with India. We saw that he has clearly said that we are ready. The Indian army is ready to move into Pakistan land. This is after this exercise which was conducted in Pathankot, Punjab, where the might of the Indian military was on display.
सिंदूर में जैसा आपने देखा कि हमने 7 तारीख को उनके सभी टेररिस्ट बेसिस पर हमला किया था। उसके बाद उन्होंने कुछ जवाबी कार्रवाई की और उसके जवाब में जो हमने उनके मिलिट्री बेसिस, एयर बेसिस को जिस तरह से बर्बाद किया, उसके बाद उसने फिर सीज़ फायर की मांग की। और सीज़ फायर की मांग सिर्फ डायरेक्टली हमसे नहीं की, हमको लगता है कि और भी देशों के पास उसने अपना ये मैसेज भेजा कि हमें इंडिया से सीज़ फायर करवा दो। तो ये था, हमारा मानना है कि वो हमसे लड़ाई लड़ने की क्षमता उसके पास नहीं है। जहाँ भी उसको हम चोट पहुँचाएंगे तो वो कोशिश करेगा कि हम इंडिया के साथ किसी तरीके से सीज़ फायर हासिल कर लें। हाल था पाकिस्तान को घुसकर मारने का, वो तो ऑप सिंदूर में भी हमने किया। उसके कई इलाकों को जो कि उसके हार्टलैंड पंजाब में हैं, हमने वहाँ पर एक तरीके से उनके बेसिस को बर्बाद किया। और ऑपरेशन सिंदूर 2 में हम उसको किस तरह से आगे ले जाएंगे, ये एक ऑपरेशनल प्लान है और आप ये मान के चलिए कि इसके लिए हमारी तैयारी जारी है। और जैसा मैंने कहा कि ड्रोन्स हमारी इस तैयारी का एक बहुत बड़ा हिस्सा हैं, क्योंकि ड्रोन्स हर ऑपरेशन में ड्रोन्स का इस्तेमाल आज की तारीख में हो रहा है, तो हम भी ड्रोन्स में बहुत महारत हासिल कर रहे हैं।
7 minutes of horror inside a government school in Rajasthan's Bikaner. A 4-year-old child was brutally mauled by a pack of stray dogs, leaving him critically injured and fighting for recovery. Here's the full story.
Four-year-old Ramu, sitting on a hospital bed, silent, fragile, and battling unimaginable pain. Wounds cover his legs and arms, and one of his ear is severely injured. Major portion of his scalp has been torn off, exposing the sheer savagery of the mauling. The innocent child went to school for the first time with his elder brother. According to reports, a group of stray dogs suddenly surrounded the 4-year-old and attacked him. The mauling allegedly continued for nearly 7 minutes. Despite the child's desperate screams, school staff reportedly failed to notice the attack. A passerby finally intervened, rescued the child, and rushed him to a hospital nearby in critical condition. Doctors say the child has suffered severe injuries and will require surgery to reattach the torn skin on his head. This incident has sparked outrage and raised serious questions, leading the authorities under pressure to uncheck stray dog menace and glaring lapses in the safety.
And let's move ahead, viewers, to some of the other stories that are coming in. Now, we are waiting for the Canadian Prime Minister's visit to India. And before that, the Canadian officials have said that they don't find any link between what's happening in Canada, the violent attacks in Canada, and India. So no links between India and violence in Canada. This is a huge update coming in. And it also shows there's a reset of diplomatic ties between India and Canada. Take a look at this report as we tell you what to expect ahead of the Canadian Premier's visit to India.
Canada appears to be recalibrating its stance on India. According to reports, senior federal officials have said Ottawa is now confident that alleged violent activities previously linked to India are no longer continuing. The statement comes ahead of Prime Minister Mark Carney's 9-day visit to India, where he is scheduled to meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Mumbai and in New Delhi. Officials say robust diplomatic engagement, including talks between national security advisors, has helped ease concerns. Relations between the two countries deteriorated sharply after the June 2023 killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar in British Columbia. Then Prime Minister Justin Trudeau had cited credible evidence linking Indian agents to the killing, an allegation New Delhi strongly denied. The dispute led to diplomatic expulsions and heightened tensions between India and Canada. While some Sikh activists continue to raise concerns and stage protests, Canadian officials now say there is no indication of ongoing foreign interference tied to India. However, former national security officials maintain that security concerns remain a live issue. Both the governments are now focusing on strengthening trade and security cooperation. Meanwhile, India's High Commissioner to Canada emphasized enhanced collaboration on issues ranging from organized crime to cyber security. On the other hand, Ottawa says improved law enforcement coordination and diplomatic dialogue have created conditions for a cautious reset. Mark Carney's visit is expected to test whether both nations can move beyond a fraught chapter and rebuild ties while balancing domestic sensitivities and ongoing investigations.
Let's move ahead, viewers, to some of the other stories that we're tracking. A stinging observation has come from the CGI on the NCERT chapter row. And it's very, very clear what the CGI said. CGI said that heads should roll. They're saying it's a calculated move to undermine the courts. Very important updates coming in here, Republic TV viewers, where we see that according to the latest update, the SC has made some very sharp observations. Supreme Court has made very sharp observations on the NCERT row and said that this was a calculated move to undermine the judiciary and the court. This is a huge update coming in, viewers, on Republic TV. I remember that this is in the context of a Class 8 textbook which had a very, very objectionable chapter according to the Supreme Court. Let's go ahead and play out the reactions we're getting on the story.
जिस पर आप लोगों ने संज्ञान लिया?
नहीं, देखिए, बार बेंच में तो आक्रोश था ही, लेकिन बार भी जो इस इंस्टीट्यूशन का पार्ट है, बार और बेंच दोनों, तो बार को भी ये बात अच्छी नहीं लगी थी। कल परसों भी हमसे कुछ लोगों ने प्रश्न किया था, तो मैंने कहा था कि ये बहुत ही आपत्तिजनक है, या ऐसी ढंग का चैप्टर नाबालिग बच्चों के सामने ये परोसना या देश के सामने ये परोसना बड़ा ही अनुचित है और इसका कहीं से कोई जस्टिफिकेशन नहीं हो सकता है। तो बार भी इस पर आक्रोशित था और बार आक्रोशित है।
सर, सभी किताबें हटा ली जाएंगी? कोर्ट ने आदेश तुरंत दिया?
हाँ, तुरंत आदेश दिया है कोर्ट ने कि सारी किताबें हटा ली जाएं। जो भी डिजिटल मीडिया के वजह से या डिजिटल माध्यम से जो भी ये परोसा गया है, सबको तुरंत वापस किया जाए।
सर, in English regarding what the Supreme Court's order today in the NCERT matter?
No, the Honorable Court was very much annoyed. They were of the opinion that this should not have happened, and learned solicitor also he agreed. All the leaders of the bar, they were present there in the courtroom. They also expressed their views that it should not have happened. The court was very serious about it, and the court said that whomsoever is responsible for this, he should be there should be an inquiry, and the man should be nabbed. He should be the proper action should be taken against him.
Sir, there is a very long process through which NCERT textbooks are written, and Supreme Court has today said that it seems to be a very calculated, motivated action.
Oh yes, that is the crux of the matter. It could not have been happened in ignorance. Something deliberate has been done. There is a solid conspiracy behind it, and purposely this has been done. It is a deliberate action on the part of some of the officials of the NCERT. The court was also of the same view. Therefore, the order for inquiry has been made.
And latest update coming in on the ongoing row Anurag Thakur's comments have come in on the Himachal police versus Delhi police fiasco. Himachal Pradesh is known for securing the country's borders, and Himachal's youth have contributed significantly to the fight against Naxalism within the country. So I'm quoting Anurag Thakur here, and he also says, but today Himachal's name is being associated with those who seek to defame the country. And he goes on to say the Congress leaders who disrobed on the international stage and brought shame to the country found refuge. It was in Himachal, southern Delhi. So let's play out what Anurag Thakur had to say as we saw this COP versus COP face-off.
हिमाचल प्रदेश जाना जाता है देश की सीमाओं को सुरक्षित करने के लिए और देश के अंदर भी नक्सलवाद से संघर्ष करने के लिए। हिमाचल के युवाओं का योगदान उस दिशा में था, लेकिन आज हिमाचल का नाम देश को बदनाम करने को बचाने वालों में आ रहा है। अंतर्राष्ट्रीय मंच पर कपड़े खोलकर नंगा नाच, शेमलेस और शर्टलेस प्रदर्शन करने वाले कांग्रेसी कार्यकर्ता जिन्होंने देश को शर्मसार दुनिया भर के सामने किया, उनको पनाह मिली तो हिमाचल सदन दिल्ली में मिली, हिमाचल सरकार के द्वारा मिली। उनको पनाह मिली तो हिमाचल प्रदेश की राजधानी में मिली, हिमाचल की सरकार, हिमाचल की पुलिस के द्वारा मिली। ये दुर्भाग्य है कि आज हिमाचल का नाम देश को बदनाम करने वालों के साथ जुड़ रहा है और कांग्रेस की सरकार उनकी मदद कर रही है।
लेकिन हिमाचल पुलिस ये किस तरीके से नाज़िर पेश कर रही है?
देखिए, कुछ भी हो, जिन लोगों ने अगर ये कुकृत्य इस तरह से किया कि देश को बदनाम किया, अंतर्राष्ट्रीय मंच पर आप प्रदर्शन करिए, विरोध करिए, उसमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं, लेकिन किस मंच पे कर रहे हैं, किस तरीके से कर रहे हैं? क्या ये 60 साल सत्ता में रहने वाली कांग्रेस पार्टी का यही चेहरा है कि भारत के बढ़ते कदमों का विरोध, भारत में आने वाले निवेश का विरोध, भारत के युवाओं को रोजगार का विरोध, भारत की बढ़ती लोकप्रियता का विरोध, हर तरफ नफरत की सोच मोदी जी के खिलाफ, भारतीय जनता पार्टी के खिलाफ, और अब भारत के खिलाफ नफरत की जो सोच राहुल गांधी जी और कांग्रेस पार्टी की है, ये दुर्भाग्य है कि हिमाचल प्रदेश की कांग्रेस सरकार इसका हिस्सा बनी।
प्रधानमंत्री जिस तरीके से इजराइल के दौरे पर गए, लेकिन असदुद्दीन ओवैसी और तमाम विपक्ष के नेता सवाल उठा रहे हैं। असदुद्दीन ओवैसी जिस तरीके से इजराइल पे दौरे पर सवाल उठा रहे हैं, और क्या कहेंगे आप?
इजराइल भारत का मित्र है और हमने आतंकवाद के खिलाफ एक आवाज़ के रूप में बात की है और प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी के संबोधन में बहुत स्पष्ट है भारत इजराइल की मित्रता के बारे में भी और आतंकवाद के खिलाफ जो जीरो टॉलरेंस पॉलिसी हमारी है वो उसको लेके।
Okay, there was a reaction coming in from Anurag Thakur. He's saying that this kind of act was unnecessary. What we saw, the act of the Himachal Pradesh police. That you can see the pictures on your screen, and you can see what both of them were talking about. It was a face-off. A cop versus cop face-off. We actually have the entire face-off and the fiasco. Let's play out so you can hear yourself what happened.
आता हूँ मैं अपनी FIR दिखाता हूँ। एक मिनट सर, मीडिया के सामने करा, एक मिनट, एक इन्वेस्टिगेशन आप मीडिया के सामने कराते हैं। अब तो ट्रायल मीडिया करता है, एक पुलिस वाला बोल रही है। सर मैं ये नहीं कह रहा हूँ। एक मिनट, मैंने FIR सर एक मिनट बोल लेंगे, क्योंकि आप जो कर रहे हैं, मैं कुछ नहीं कर रहा, मैं आपको बोल रहा हूँ एक पुलिस वाले को काम करने से रोक रहे हैं। आपके ऊपर FIR दर्ज है, आप 3 बंदों को अगवा करके ले जा रहे हैं, ठीक है? तो ज्वाइन करिए इन्वेस्टिगेशन। आपको इतनी सी बात बोल रहा हूँ, नहीं तो हम करवाएंगे। करना तो पड़ेगा, आपको इन्वेस्टिगेशन ज्वाइन करनी पड़ेगी, बस इतनी सी बात है। अब मैं एक बात बोलूं, अब सुनिए, मेरी FIR है किस तारीख की? 20 तारीख की। 20 तारीख की FIR में अरेस्ट मैंने किया आज मॉर्निंग में, ठीक है, जिसमें कि ऑलरेडी अरेस्ट हो चुके हैं 9 लोग अरेस्ट हो चुके हैं, उनके ऑलरेडी PC रिमांड आ चुके हैं। आज मैं सुबह अरेस्ट करके ला रहा हूँ, सुबह से मुझे आपने कोर्ट में, सर सुनिए तो कहाँ जा रहे हैं सर? बंदे हैं सर वहाँ पे, मैं अभी अपनी फाइल लेके आता हूँ, मैं अपनी FIR।
All right, let's go straight across to my colleague. I'm being joined by Harsh. Harsh, yes, a very good afternoon to you, Harsh. You know, what we saw play out was something very unprecedented. Not every day do you see cops of 2 different states fight it out on a national highway or on the highway. That's exactly what we saw there. But I would also like to know from you, what about those 3 people who have been arrested? What is next for them now?
Well, right. In fact, this is the big breaking at this hour, that all of these 3 protesters who were held from Himachal Pradesh yesterday have now been taken to have now been taken to the Patiala House Court here in New Delhi. They were brought to the crime branch office earlier this afternoon. They have now been taken.
All right, viewers, pictures coming in of Prime Minister Modi in Israel, and here you can see that he's holding the bilateral talks with his counterpart Netanyahu. Prime Minister Modi on a two-day visit to Israel. The entire focus is on strengthening the India-Israel strategic partnership. Prime Minister Modi just a short while back had paid tribute at the Holocaust Memorial in Jerusalem, and he's holding delegation-level talks with the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. And just had a meet a short while back with the president as well. Defense cooperation, trade expansion, regional security is high on the agenda. First, and exclusive pictures coming in of that delegation-level talks which are happening in Jerusalem, Israel. Prime Minister Modi is holding these talks. A short while back, when the Israeli president was speaking, he's lauded India's growth. Israeli president acknowledges India's economic rise and stressed the importance of academic collaboration between the two nations, and has also said that it's very important. India's importance in the region is growing further and further every day. Israel is saying that India is an essential part of Middle East's great future, and Middle East is vital to India's future, underscoring the mutual dependence and the shared vision which both the leaders have agreed on. So big updates coming in. These are pictures coming in from Jerusalem, Israel, of the delegation-level talks which are being held there in Israel. And it was also a very, very important visit when we talk about cultural exchange. Prime Minister Modi was also witness to a graceful cultural presentation in Israel. And he was accompanied by the Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu short while back to visit the World Holocaust Remembrance Center in Jerusalem and paid his tributes. So live pictures coming in on Republic TV of this very important visit. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu and Prime Minister Modi, with both their officials holding these delegation-level talks. A very important visit of both their nations. Prime Minister Modi became the first Indian leader to address the Israeli parliament. And that was a historic event that we saw yesterday night. Prime Minister Modi is on a high-profile visit, marking a second trip to Tel Aviv after the historic 2017 visit. Prime Minister Modi has met the Prime Minister Netanyahu. Big focus would be deepening trade and defense ties. And Prime Minister Modi has been described as more than a friend. Netanyahu has showered praises on the Indian leader, Prime Minister Modi, and thanked him for standing by Israel's side after the dastardly attack on October 7, 2023. PM Modi was among the first world leaders to condemn deadly attacks by Hamas, in which more than 1,200 Israelis were killed and many, many were kidnapped. Let's go straight across to our senior executive editor, Abhishek Kapoor, who will walk us through these pictures which are coming in. Bilateral talks with the Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu. Yes, Abhishek, over to you.
Well, yes. So that's the real substance of the entire visit, the substantive dialogue between the two sides, the brass tacks, so to say, and respective delegations. They are now meeting in Jerusalem. Prime Minister's office, where these meetings typically take place. And on the Indian side, we have seen Prime Minister's delegation. On the Israeli side, you have all the ministers sitting next to, on both sides of Prime Minister Netanyahu. Soon we will have opening comments also, Shivangi, but expectation really building up to this moment that are India and Israel going to announce that they are upgrading their strategic ties even further. Are there going to be any specific announcements insofar as the defense and tech sector are concerned? Because remember, the delegation level talks are happening, or this state visit, in fact, is panning out in a specific backdrop, which is that India has come out of Operation Sindoor and its 4 days military standoff with Pakistan, and Israel is coming out of a long war that they had to wage against Hamas, and then Iran, and then Hezbollah, and they are typically surrounded by so many enemy and non-state actors, state and non-state actors. We saw a glimpse of what's going to come in Prime Minister's address last evening at the Knesset, where he covered all the themes, including defense, technology, innovation, agriculture, among others, which are going to be focus areas. It's a long-existing relationship of cooperation and collaboration. Maybe the accent this time is going to be on how to make more and more in India, and how Israel can collaborate, or Israeli companies can collaborate on making in India, and that would include a technology transfer component, and that's something I think on which the deliberations are going to focus on. So, for example, the last big deal of Heron drones that was signed during the last visit, that has already fructified on the ground with 2 private sector companies from India and Israel jointly manufacturing those Heron drones, which, by the way, proved legal insofar as India's Operation Sindoor hit back on Pakistan is concerned, and they are now being manufactured in Hyderabad, I believe, or in Telangana somewhere. And similarly, if there has to be a joint missile production, if there has to be a joint drones production, if there has to be a technology transfer insofar as Iron Dome and Iron Beam, Iron Laser Beam technologies are concerned, as part of India's larger project of creating an air defense called Sudarshan Chakra, which the Prime Minister had announced post-Operation Sindoor from the ramparts of the Red Fort. There is a lot that can come out of these talks that are taking place that we see in the pictures, and just in about an hour's time, we would know what exactly is on which the two sides have agreed upon by way of those agreements and MOUs that would be announced during that joint statement between Prime Minister Modi and Prime Minister Netanyahu.
Yes. Abhishek, also what we are looking forward is to defense and tech outcomes. We'll be expecting those defense and tech outcomes. Let's go to Abhishek. I'll go to Ratna Chakrabarti, who's joining us live from Tel Aviv. And on this, I'd love to know from you, Ratna, and since you're there and you're following this from the sport, I would like to know from you that what can we expect in terms of the defense and tech outcomes from the Modi-Netanyahu talks, which are happening as we speak right now?
Yeah, of course. As some of the points were mentioned, the talks may also happen in buying Israel's Iron Beam, is one of the best inventions that have happened and have taken down the interception cost of the missiles by a significant amount. And looking at the position of India right now, what we have seen on Operation Sindoor, this would be a huge addition. There might also be an MOU to tie up with top defense systems and collaboration for offensive weapons, according to what local medias are reporting here. In the field of defensive system, deals are only expected to focus on the Israeli aerospace industry, IAI's missile defense system, the Rafael's David Sling, and the Iron Dome. So we have to see what the defense deal exactly entails, and probably we will get to know in about a bit. So a lot of the deals are expected, and according to what Jerusalem Post was reporting, the India and Israel expand defense ties with a deal worth up to $10 billion USD.
Right. Okay, we just heard, Ratna, there that the leaders in Israel are making it very clear that India is in the future for the Middle East, and Middle East is in the future for India. We have seen a very strong diplomatic signals being sent from both the sides. So what does this really mean for the future of our bilateral ties with Israel?
Well, Prime Minister also made it very clear in his speech yesterday that he has a lot of projects planned for the Middle East, which also includes Israel here. One of them, of course, is the I2U to which was a very important element, bringing in India, Israel, UAE, and US. And also the planned India-Middle East-Europe corridor, which positions India and Israel as technology and logistic anchors, respectively, within this larger value chains that tie South Asia to Europe via the Gulf. So India is playing a very important role, and this helps Israel as well in a lot of domains, because what Israel has got the technology and what India has is the scalability which it could use to its own advantage.
Right. Okay. Yes. Ratna, okay, so we see that there's a new framework when it comes to technology and defense. What about AI? What about cybersecurity? These are also some of the other topics. We can expect a lot of collaboration on that front, because we see that AI is one of the, we remember the AI summit that India had hosted just a few days ago, and it got so much of accolades from leaders all over the world, and we can expect perhaps some more cooperation there with Israel.
I'm sure there would be more Indo-Israeli joint labs and accelerators when it comes to AI and cyberspace and climate tech. We have also seen the Prime Minister visit the innovation exhibition yesterday with Prime Minister Netanyahu, where he saw a lot of the state-of-art AI and cyber tech on display. And so I'm sure there would be a lot of conversation, collaboration in this field, and even when India is looking forward to actually increase this, and deepen its cooperation with Israel in defense system, some of the things, including artificial intelligence-based drones and cybersecurity, would be on the radar as well for the Prime Minister.
Right. Okay. Ratna, coming back to you, because, as we put these pictures out, we have seen that there has been a cultural exchange as well. Prime Minister Modi paying a tribute to the Holocaust victims. We have seen a cultural exchange, as it happens whenever Prime Minister Modi travels to any nation. So do you think that this is, soft diplomacy? And this, of course, is soft diplomacy. How does soft diplomacy really figure out here when it comes to Israel and India? We're talking about people-to-people connect. This is a very important part of every visit of Prime Minister Modi's visits, especially when he goes to other countries to build diplomatic ties with them.
Yeah. So one of the good things about Israelis is they have a very positive image about India. Almost 71%, according to a survey, shows that positively looked at India. Israelis looked at India, and a lot of Israelis, young Israelis, when they Egyptian service in the army, the first thing they do is to take a trip to India. So the Prime Minister even highlighted that in his speech when he said yesterday that he invited even a lot of other Israelis to travel to India, and he also mentioned how when he was the chief minister of Gujarat and he came in the early 2000s, there were only a handful of yoga studios. Now, yoga has been so popularized in Israel that there is a yoga studio in every neighborhood. And that shows the soft power of India. Also, the role of Indian caregivers and construction workers and engineers that have also played a very important role in Israel. So India has a very important role to play when it comes to the people-to-people links as well. We see the Indian Jews, one of the only Jewish diasporas which have never experienced anti-Semitism in their host countries when they were there in India. So that also gives a very positive image towards India, because all the other Jewish population which have migrated to Israel, made their aliyah, they have faced persecution in European countries. But here, the Indian Jewish diaspora loves India, still preserves their cultural roots. Most of the Bene Israeli community, when you go and meet the Cochin Jews you meet, you will say they speak Malayalam, they speak Marathi. They have preserved the Indian culture. They love Indian culture. So when the Prime Minister meets this Jewish diaspora here, it also signals the fact that, which Prime Minister Netanyahu even highlighted in his speech yesterday, that he's very thankful for the fact that Indian Jews have never faced persecution or anti-Semitism while they were in India.
Ratna, remember that address of the Prime Minister Modi at the Knesset? You are there in Israel, so you would be the perfect person to tell us how often do world leaders come to the Knesset, the Israeli parliament, and give an address there? Because this was the first time an Indian leader has done that. How often do you see that happen?
Well, it's not very often that you would see that red carpet is laid for world leader visiting to address the Knesset. And even a lot of exceptions were made for Prime Minister Modi. For example, Sarah Netanyahu didn't appear in public for the last 5 weeks after Miami. This is the first time she went to receive the Prime Minister in the airport with Prime Minister Netanyahu. And after that, we have seen Prime Minister Netanyahu accompanying Prime Minister Modi everywhere. And even with the Knesset speech as well, there were some opposition leaders who walked out during Prime Minister Netanyahu's speech because of the domestic implications that they have. But the moment the Prime Minister Modi walked to the podium, every single person walked back in. They were eager to listen to the Indian Prime Minister. And also, as an Indian here in Israel, it gives a very sense of pride for us, the fact that how India was represented there. All the major newspapers, including the Jerusalem Post, if you see yesterday, had a front page talking about the Prime Minister Modi's visit, which is very rare for other leaders, even who have visited Israel in the recent past, to see that kind of warmth and reception.
Okay, Ratna, hold on for a second. We are waiting for the joint statement of the two leaders. So just waiting for that. It'll begin any time now. Right hand of your screen, we're standing by for the joint statement of both the leaders, Prime Minister Modi and the Prime Minister Netanyahu. We just saw earlier as well that Prime Minister Modi has invited the Israeli president for an India visit. So these are the pictures that we are getting for you. The bilateral talks are underway on your left hand. The bilateral talks are underway right hand. A joint statement which will begin any time now. Prime Minister Modi is on a high-profile visit. This is a second trip to Tel Aviv after the historic 2017 visit. PM Modi has met with Israeli Prime Minister, and he has also met with the president, inviting him for an India visit. Netanyahu showered praises on the Indian leader, thanked him for standing by Israel's side after the dastardly attacks on October 7, 2023. PM Modi was among the first leaders to condemn the deadly attacks by Hamas, in which almost 1,200 Israelis were killed and some 250 were kidnapped. Like Ratna was telling us, who's reporting live for us, Ratna was telling us that we have to wait for some more details to come in, specifically when it comes to defense deals, FTA. Okay, let's go back to Ratna. Ratna, we're waiting for the joint statement of Prime Minister Modi and Netanyahu. That will begin in a short while from now. And we're going to wait and watch, what have both the leaders spoken about and the further collaboration that both the countries will be working on and working together. Now, Prime Minister Modi has invited Israeli president for an India visit. How do you think that is going to go? Because we've seen that the chemistry between the leaders was fantastic. It was clearly on display in the Knesset. Long hugs, standing ovations from the assembled crowd and lawmakers. And now the Israeli president has been invited for an India visit. So a lot to look forward to this year.
It's true. In fact, the Israeli president was very excited to host Prime Minister Modi. He was supposed to visit, the Israeli president supposed to visit India, but the domestic problems that Israel is facing, especially with the war and tensions with Iran, the visit was postponed, but the Prime Minister invited him to visit. And this symbolizes that India has really moved from that cautious engagement pre-2014 to a very deep engagement with Israel. And they're trying to get more deeper into this engagement with Israel with more security arrangements. And this shows the high-level visits that we are seeing now with the Prime Minister coming here and the President now invited to visit. Even Prime Minister Netanyahu was supposed to visit India earlier this year, but that got cancelled. So we're seeing a lot of the high-level visits, but I'm sure there would be a reciprocal visit by the Prime Minister of Israel as well sometime in the future.
Right. Ratna, when Prime Minister Modi addressed the Knesset, and we were just speaking about that, Prime Minister Modi addressed the Israeli parliament, and he spoke about India is absolutely uncompromising. We don't compromise when it comes to terrorism. There's zero tolerance policy towards terrorism, no double standard. Now, this is not just Prime Minister Modi speaking there, the Knesset, Ratna. This is India's stand on terrorism, even when we talk about global forums. Very important, because we see that Prime Minister Modi has supported the Gaza Peace Initiative, saying it is necessary to sustain the process of peace building in the region. How do you see this comment of the Prime Minister Modi, given the regional tensions?
Prime Minister Modi is actually visiting Israel at a very crucial time, because the 48-hour deadline that the United States gave to Iran actually collapsed, and the Geneva talk starts from today. So, and the United States have made it clear that they were open for a limited strike on Iran if they don't get back on the table. So he has, and there's a military, of course, build-up right now, as we see in the Middle East, with a lot of planes landing in Israel. So he's visiting at a very crucial time. So he made it very clear that India also stands for peace, and he supports the idea of the Gaza peace. But also at the same time, one of the things that India has done was, India was one of the first countries after October 7 to acknowledge that it was an act of terror, because there were citizens and innocent civilians who were murdered by the barbaric act of terrorism on October 7 by Hamas. And he stressed that both India and Israel are victims of terrorism. And he emphasized that, like Israel, India also have no double standards on terrorism, and we have also endured the pain of terrorism for a long time. So this makes the Israelis understand that why the Indian Prime Minister knows what Israel is going through, because we have gone through the same problem with terrorism back in India.
Right. Okay, and we're waiting for that joint statement, which will be coming in very soon. So you can see on your left hand of your screen, we see this is the address, the Knesset address that Prime Minister Modi made. Then we see just an hour or two back, Prime Minister Modi visited the Holocaust Memorial, paid tribute to the victims of the Holocaust in the presence of the Prime Minister Netanyahu, and the bilateral meet, which is happening right now. So 3 big moments from Prime Minister Modi's Israel visit, bilateral talks happening as we speak, and the historic Knesset address that we showed you. It was a very big address, like we were speaking, Ratna, because not every day, like you discussed, a world leader gets to go to the Knesset and give an address. Coming back to you, let's talk about the Indian diaspora, because Indian diaspora waits for Prime Minister Modi. Wherever Prime Minister Modi goes, they wait to greet him. They greet him with a lot of enthusiasm. And when will that address happen of Prime Minister Modi to the Indian diaspora in Israel? Because every time the Indian diaspora says that even though they might not be staying on their motherland here in India, their heart is still Indian.
No, that's true. And in fact, that's what the Prime Minister made it clear yesterday in his speech, when he said that India was the motherland and Israel is the fatherland for a lot of the Indian Jews who have migrated from Israel and are right now have migrated from India and are now residing in Israel. And that's something which the Indian Jews, the Jewish diaspora here actually feels, because they haven't left their Indian roots. They're extremely proud of the Indian roots. And they're doing well when it comes to business, when it comes to serving Israeli military or police. And that's what the Prime Minister actually mentioned, that he's extremely proud of the Indian Jewish diaspora. So is the Indian Jewish diaspora also proud of the Indian roots, because it's not every day that you would see that the Jewish diaspora, there are American Jewish diaspora, there are the Jewish diaspora, but they will not be as same excited to see their president or their state of leaders coming and queuing up and then talking about their positive experience in the country. Yesterday, the Prime Minister interacted with a few members of the Indian Jewish diaspora, and today as well, before he departs to India, he will actually have another set of conversation with the prominent members of the Indian Jewish diaspora here in Israel.
Right. Okay. And it's very obvious, Ratna, with all these pictures that we are getting for our viewers, waiting for the joint statement coming up next. But, what Prime Minister Modi, his historic speech and the kind of red carpet welcome that Prime Minister Modi was accorded, it's very clear that India is an important partner to Israel. But I think we're getting some more breaking news coming in. Let's go straight across to the next set of breaking news we're getting for our viewers. Okay, JNU, pictures coming in from JNU, and
से देख रहे हैं, जहां पर यूजीसी को लेकर लगातार जो छात्र हैं वो प्रोटेस्ट करते हुए नजर आ रहे हैं। उनका साफ तौर पर कहना यह है कि यूजीसी लागू होना चाहिए और इसी को लेकर लगातार आपको बता दें जेएनयू में या फिर आसपास की जो यूनिवर्सिटीज हैं वहां पर भी प्रोटेस्ट हुआ और आज यहां पर यूजीसी को लेकर एक बार फिर से आयसा ग्रुप के जो लोग हैं, जो जेएनयू के छात्र हैं लेफ्ट विंग के, वो प्रोटेस्ट करते हुए नजर आ रहे हैं। लोगों के हाथों में झंडा है और लगातार नारेबाजी करते हुए नजर आ रहे हैं। गेट के अंदर की ये तस्वीरें आप देख रहे हैं और जहां पर गेट को पूरे तरीके से लॉक किया गया है। लॉक करने के बाद ताले लगाए गए हैं, 2 से 3 ताले लगाए गए हैं, जिसमें से एक ताला छात्रों ने तोड़ दिया है। दूसरी तरफ अगर आपको दिखाएं तो दिल्ली पुलिस की टीम और रैपिड एक्शन की फोर्स जो है यहाँ पर मौजूद है। देखिए इस वक्त ये तस्वीरें आप देख रहे हैं किस तरीके से नारेबाजी करते हुए ये छात्र नजर आ रहे हैं। छात्रों की ये मांग है कि यूजीसी लागू होना चाहिए, जबकि यूजीसी को सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने फिलहाल जो है रोक लगा दी है, लेकिन इसी को लेकर लगातार छात्र जो है वो प्रोटेस्ट करते हुए नजर आ रहे हैं। इस वक्त दिल्ली पुलिस जो है भारी संख्या में यहाँ पर मोर्चा संभालने के लिए मौजूद है और पुलिस की टीम जो है वो लगातार निवेदन कर रही है, छात्रों से अपील कर रही है कि वो इस तरीके की तोड़फोड़ ना करें, क्योंकि आगे चलकर छात्रों के लिए प्रॉब्लम हो सकती है और एक एक पाई की भरपाई जो है छात्रों को करनी पड़ेगी। तो इस तरीके का अपील करते हुए दिल्ली पुलिस नजर आ रही है, लेकिन उसके बावजूद भी आप देखेंगे तो छात्र लगातार प्रोटेस्ट करते हुए नजर आ रहे हैं। यहाँ पर आप देख रहे हैं इस वक्त जेएनयू की ये तस्वीरें, जहां पर लेफ्ट विंग के छात्र जो हैं वो प्रोटेस्ट करते हुए नजर आ रहे हैं और चारों तरफ आपको दिखेगा किस तरीके से, जहां तक आप नजर घुमाएंगे वहां पर सिर्फ छात्र नजर आ रहे हैं और लगातार इस गेट को तोड़ के, इस ताले को, जो ताला लगा हुआ है गेट पे, उसे तोड़कर आगे बढ़ने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। हालांकि पुलिस ने डबल लेयरिंग की जंजीर लगाई हुई है और उसके बाद 2 ताले लगाए हुए हैं। एक ताले को इसमें से छात्रों ने तोड़ दिया है और लगातार नारेबाजी करते हुए नजर आ रहे हैं। भारी संख्या में यहाँ पर रैपिड एक्शन फोर्स और दिल्ली पुलिस की टीमें जो है वो मौजूद हैं और लगातार इस मोर्चे को संभालने की कोशिश कर रही हैं। छात्रों की मांग है कि यूजीसी जो है वो लागू होना चाहिए और इसी को लेकर आज यहाँ पर छात्र मौजूद है भारी संख्या में और लगातार प्रोटेस्ट करते हुए नजर आ रहे हैं। यूजीसी लागू करने की मांग जो है वो कर रहे हैं। दूसरी तरफ अगर आपको हम तस्वीरें दिखाएं तो यहाँ पर पूरे रोड को जो है वो ब्लॉक कर दिया गया है। इस तरफ से भी अगर आप देखेंगे तो ये रोड पूरे तरीके से ब्लॉक है, दूसरी तरफ से भी रोड जो है वो ब्लॉक है और यहाँ पर आप देखेंगे तो 3 से 4 लेयर की, इस तरफ स्कूल की गेट की तरफ अगर आप देखेंगे तो 3 से 4 लेयरिंग की गई है बैरिकेड्स की और यहाँ पर रैपिड एक्शन की फोर्स जो है वो मौजूद है। दिल्ली पुलिस की टीमें मौजूद है भारी संख्या में और लगातार दिल्ली पुलिस जो है वो अपील भी कर रही है कि इस प्रोटेस्ट को अब बंद कर दिया जाए और किसी भी तरीके का कोई तोड़फोड़ ना किया जाए। लेकिन उसके बावजूद भी अगर आप तस्वीरों में देखेंगे तो लगातार जो स्टूडेंट हैं वो नारेबाजी करते हुए नजर आ रहे हैं।
Okay, we're getting these live pictures coming in. This is the JNU campus in Delhi. They are first on Republic TV. You can see a lot of security forces are already on standby because these protests could get a little violent perhaps, like it does in JNU. So protests erupt outside JNU once again. Left group demands UGC regulations to be brought in immediately. Let's go across to our colleague. We are being joined by Kajal. Kajal, left groups are protesting at JNU demanding UGC regulations with the Bermuda Act, and it looks like a lot of security is on standby. What is the state of the protest now?
जी, यहाँ पर यूजीसी को लेकर लगातार प्रोटेस्ट चल रहा है और अगर आप देखेंगे तो ये जेएनयू का गेट है और यहाँ पर छात्र जो है वो भारी संख्या में मौजूद हैं जो लगातार प्रोटेस्ट करते हुए नजर आ रहे हैं, नारेबाजी कर रहे हैं। लगातार दिल्ली पुलिस मुर्दाबाद के भी नारे लगाते हुए नजर आ रहे हैं। इसके अलावा अगर आप देखेंगे तो गेट पर 2 लेयरिंग की जंजीर लगाई गई है, उसके बाद ताले लगाए गए हैं, जिसमें से एक ताला छात्रों ने तोड़ दिया है। और अगर आप देखेंगे तो यहाँ पर गेट के बाद 4 लेयरिंग की बैरिकेड की गई है ताकि छात्र आगे ना बढ़ पाए। और दिल्ली पुलिस के द्वारा लगातार ये निवेदन किया जा रहा है, ये अपील की जा रही है कि छात्र आगे ना बढ़े और किसी तरीके का तोड़फोड़ ना करे। उसके बावजूद भी यहाँ पर छात्रों ने पहला जो ताला था वो तोड़ दिया है। और रैपिड एक्शन की फोर्स भी यहाँ पर मौजूद है, दिल्ली पुलिस की फोर्स यहाँ पर भारी संख्या में मौजूद है। वाटर टैंक जो है वो भी मौजूद है और लगातार पुलिस जो है वो पूरे तरीके से गेट के सामने मुस्तैद है और तैनात है। और लगातार यही अपील की जा रही है कि छात्र अब वापस लौट जाएं और आगे बढ़ना सख्त मना है, लेकिन उसके बावजूद भी छात्र आगे बढ़ने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। उनके हाथों में तमाम तरीके के झंडे हैं और जो है लगातार वो प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हैं और यही मांग कर रहे हैं कि यूजीसी जो है वो लागू होना चाहिए। इस वक्त ये तस्वीरें आप जेएनयू गेट की देख रही हैं, जहां पर छात्र जो है लेफ्ट विंग के वो आगे बढ़ने की पूरी कोशिश करते हुए नजर आ रहे हैं। दिल्ली पुलिस लगातार उन्हें रोकने की कोशिश कर रही है। दिल्ली पुलिस का कहना यही है कि आगे ना बढ़े और इस जो प्रोटेस्ट को है यहीं पर विराम दे, लेकिन उसके बावजूद भी छात्र आगे बढ़ने की पूरी कोशिश करते हुए अभी भी नजर आ रहे हैं। छात्रों का कहना यह है कि यूजीसी लागू होना चाहिए। इससे पहले भी दिल्ली के कई यूनिवर्सिटीज हैं जहां पर प्रोटेस्ट देखा गया यूजीसी रेगुलेशन को लेकर और आज एक बार फिर से यहाँ पर लेफ्ट विंग के जो छात्र हैं उनका साफ तौर पर कहना ये है कि यूजीसी लागू होना चाहिए। यहाँ पर छात्र नारेबाजी करते हुए नजर आ रहे हैं।
Okay, staying with these pictures which are coming in, viewers. Okay, let's take a short break. Pictures coming in first on Republic TV. You see that the protests have erupted outside JNU once again. Left groups are creating a stir. They are demanding UGC regulation with the Bermuda Act. The security forces are on standby in case we see the protests get out of control. We will be getting you latest on this live development, but stay tuned. We are live in breaking.
MDH की देगी मिर्च,
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का।
MDH की देगी मिर्च,
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा।
Now here's the reality. It's fact, not fiction. You are sitting on a plane. You're boarding the plane in the national capital of India for Leh at 6:08 in the morning. It's a SpiceJet plane. 6 minutes into the take, against the backdrop of daybreak and a beautiful sunrise, you suddenly look to your right towards the wings and you see the flames of fire on the wings of the plane. Your plane is on fire. Ladies and gentlemen, these are real visuals. This is the reality that the Civil Aviation Minister does not want you to see. This is the reality SpiceJet does not want you to see. This is the reality DGCA does not want you to see. Because at the cockpit, at that very moment while you're sitting in the plane, there are calls of Mayday, 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 Mayday. That is a flight emergency. The flight circles back. There's engine failure in one of the engines, lands at 6:49 p.m. Ladies and gentlemen, and as you get off the plane, you realize this is the same SpiceJet. This is the same SpiceJet that does not have the money to play the Bangladesh government, which is why it had...
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरी डे।
Now here's the reality. It's fact, not fiction. You are sitting on a plane. You're boarding the plane in the national capital of India for Leh at 6:08 in the morning. It's a SpiceJet plane. 6 minutes into the take, against the backdrop of daybreak and a beautiful sunrise, you suddenly look to your right towards the wings and you see the flames of fire on the wings of the plane. Your plane is on fire. Ladies and gentlemen,
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ 8 मिनट में तैयार क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा प्योर मसाला
Amity has been ranked India's #1 not-for-profit private university for 11th year, with top 10 ranked institutions in management, engineering, biotech, law, mass-comm, telecom, hospitality, fashion and more. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
now here's the reality. It's fact, not fiction. You are sitting on a plane. You're boarding the plane in the national capital of India for Leh at 6:08 in the morning. It's a SpiceJet plane. 6 minutes into the take, against the backdrop of daybreak and a beautiful sunrise, you suddenly look to your right towards the wings and you see the flames of fire on the wings of the plane. Your plane is on fire. Ladies and gentlemen, these are real visuals. This is the reality that the Civil Aviation Minister does not want you to see. This is the reality SpiceJet does not want you to see. This is the reality DGCA does not want you to see. Because at the cockpit, at that very moment while you're sitting in the plane, there are calls of Mayday, 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 Mayday. That is a flight emergency. The flight circles back. There's engine failure in one of the engines, lands at 6:49 p.m. Ladies and gentlemen, and as you get off the plane,
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला। MDH
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरी राजा, सबका राजा प्योर मसाला।
now here's the reality. It's fact, not fiction. You are sitting on a plane. You're boarding the plane in the national capital of India for Leh at 6:08 in the morning. It's a SpiceJet plane. 6 minutes into the take, against the backdrop of daybreak and a beautiful sunrise, you suddenly look to your right towards the wings and you see
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
A very warm welcome, viewers. You're watching the Republic TV. This is Shivam Dutt Mehta. And the top focus in this bulletin will be PM's two-day Israel visit. Now, India-Israel have held bilateral meeting. And what's next? The next is there will be an issuing of a joint statement on defense deals, FTA on agenda. We'll get you all the details of this story and a lot more. But let's first have a look at the top headlines of the hour. India-Israel hold bilateral meeting to issue joint statement next. Defense deals, FTA on agenda. ED questions Anil Ambani in connection with money laundering and fraud charges. CBI also registers a case against Anil Ambani, initiating a fresh investigation into Bank of Baroda charges. Court stays proceedings linked to the Kerala story, granting interim relief amid legal challenge. Dramatic face-off erupts between two police units. Visuals accessed show a tense on-ground confrontation. Republic exclusive. Did Congress attempt to buy influences and run down the AI India Impact Summit? BJP claims conspiracy was bigger. And also, self-styled godman Avi Mukteshwaranand in bigger trouble as he's likely to be questioned on Pocso case and sexual assault charges. And top focus, strong message from Indian Army. Army leadership signals operational readiness along the Western Front. Say, we are ready to enter from the land route. CGI pulls up NCERT over textbook content and accountability. Seek clear response on revisions. All right, viewers, let's begin with the first top story. Now, the Kerala High Court on Thursday granted an interim stay against the release of the film, that is, the Kerala Story 2 Goes Beyond, that is the sequel of Kerala Story 1, saying that prima facie, there is no application of mind by the censor board while certifying the movie. Justice Bichu Khuri and Thomas passed the order on two pleas challenging the release of the film. The film was scheduled to be released on February 27, and now there is a stay.
Once the film is cleared by the CBFC, I don't think we need to really look into this. And why the row has erupted is because the Kerala state government had put a case and they were not very happy with the first Kerala stories, and now the Kerala stories part 2. So the issues continue because when you're depicting the reality of a state which has been happening and what we saw in Kerala Story 1 and then what we are showing in Kerala Story 2, I think when you're depicting what is collected from the data, and the data is not something which is created, it is what is out there on the platform for everyone to see, the realities. And if that we say that showing that as a real reality to be put out as the real picture, and if that is an issue, then I don't know what else can be shown. But yes, I have seen that the court has observed, saying with a very strong statement that it can disrupt the communal harmony of Kerala. And I don't know how that is going to go down well, but Kerala is known for a very, very harmonious state. And we'll have to wait and watch, because for 2 weeks there's been a stall on the film release. So we'll have to wait and watch, and I think the producers are going to fight it out, and we just have to wait and watch what happens. But I wouldn't look at this as the victory of the Kerala government. I would see rather tell a very clear picture to others who probably at every given opportunity, at a drop of a hat, they say that it is everything, whatever happens, whether there's a CBI raid, there's an ED raid, or there is something about banning a film, or stopping the release of a film, then it's like, okay, BJP is trying to arm twist and asking the government and taking all the independent bodies in their hand, and they're trying to have a complete Nazi rule. But here we have the Supreme Court working on its own and giving a decision about a film, despite CBFC clearing the certificate of the film.
All right. The major question that arises here, why do a certain kind of film, certain genre of film, they are facing more criticism, more scrutiny when it comes to certification every now and then? Because clearly we are not going to speak anything against the code, but specifically the kind of, whether it be Kerala Story 1, whether it be Kashmir Files, or any story that is not left-leaning in ideology and which presents facts from different sources, why they are facing more scrutiny? Your take on that? Because they get challenged a lot. The matter reaches the court only after some... All right, viewers, these are the visuals. These visuals are coming from Siliguri, West Bengal. Live visuals on your television screen. These are the visuals of a protest that is happening right now, and the police is using water cannon and tear gas shells have been fired. This is a developing story. We'll share more details to you. Now, this comes from Siliguri, Darjeeling, West Bengal, where Adivasi community was holding protest march towards North Bengal Secretariat over tribal assault case. Now, police have erected barricades to stop protesters, and police can clearly be seen using water cannons and smoke guns to disperse the protesters. Now, this was from the Adivasi community, that is the tribal community in West Bengal. Visuals coming from Siliguri, Darjeeling, and Adivasi community is holding a protest march towards North Bengal Secretariat over tribal assault case. Now, police have erected barricades to stop protesters.
सब पर लाठीचार्ज हुआ। हाँ, मैं तो बस में मैं तो ये थी, मेरे ये पर नहीं लगा, ये थोड़ा धक्का लगा, इन पर लाठीचार्ज किया गया, सब पर लाठीचार्ज हुआ। ये क्या बात है? कैसी ये है पुलिस बाहिनी कैसा है? ये तो पुलिस का ही तो ये है, जो आज का जो मुद्दा है वो तो पुलिस के लिए है, ममता बनर्जी के लिए है, स्वराष्ट्र दफ्तर किसका है? ममता बनर्जी का है। आज के ममता बनर्जी पुलिस को ऐसे बोले, देखिए कि कितना झंडा है, कितना पुलिस है।
आप लोग किस चीज की विरोध कर रहे थे?
हम लोग आ रहे थे एक ही बात लेके, देखिए उत्तर कन्नड़ में हम लोग जाने वाले थे। आदिवासी महिला का जो धर्षण हुआ, उसको ऐसे पिटाई किया गया, उसका बच्चा भी मरा गया। ये कैसी बात है? इसका कोई विचार नहीं है। स्वराष्ट्र दफ्तर के मंत्री ममता बनर्जी है, लेकिन कोई विचार नहीं है, कानून को कोई नहीं है। पश्चिम बंगला में कोई कानून नहीं है।
ट्राइबल के ऊपर क्या अटैक हुआ?
बहुत अटैक हुआ ट्राइबल के ऊपर। देखिए ये आ रहे थे उत्तर कन्नड़ जाने के लिए। उत्तर कन्नड़ तो सबके लिए है और जाने का अधिकार सबका है, लेकिन ये तो बंद कर दिया गया है, जाने का रास्ता पूरा बंद कर दिया। उसमें जल कमान, उसमें
The protest was by the Adivasi community, and police can be seen firing tear gas shells on the protesters, on the Adivasi community that is protesting right now. Exclusive visuals on your television screen. You can see smoke billowing out. This is from Siliguri, live pictures, live visuals from West Bengal. This is the police firing tear gas shells on the protesters in West Bengal, Siliguri. And this protest was being conducted by the Adivasi community, and they were conducting a march, and the Adivasi held protest march towards North Bengal Secretariat. And they were holding a march towards North Bengal Secretariat over a tribal assault case. All right, for more details, we have Harsha with us to speak, to give more details on the story. Harsha, can you put this into perspective and share details on what exactly was the protest for? The latest details that we are fetching, they are holding a march. The Adivasi community is holding a protest march towards North Bengal Secretariat over tribal assault case. More details, Harsha.
Yes, you're rightly pointing out there was a tribal assault case in the in this sector, and that's the reason why all the protesters have now moved towards the North Bengal Secretariat. If we can use the Adivasis are huge in numbers, and they'll be seeking government that a fair inquiry should happen in this case. The assault case for high, it was huge, it was heavy, and Adivasis have not been treated well, and they have been not looked into the way the police FIR and the action should have been taken against those assaulters. They first filed the FIR with the police, but there was no looked upon the case by the police officials, and the fresh visuals on our screen, from Siliguri, West Bengal, where the Adivasis, where the tribals are holding the protest, and the visuals are speaking for itself because Adivasis are huge in numbers, huge in numbers. You see the visuals from Siliguri, the water cannons are being used, the police has put up the barricade everywhere, the smoke guns are being used, they are trying to disperse the Adivasis from that particular location, not allowing them to move towards the North Bengal Secretariat, where exactly they want to march towards and hold the protest for the assault case of the tribal Adivasi, which was neglected by the government, which was neglected by the police officials, and they are seeking that the justice should be given to the Adivasis, and this assault case is something which can't be neglected or ignored. And the fresh visuals on the screen, we clearly see that how the protesters are trying to march towards the North Bengal Secretariat. The cannons are being used by the police officials. In fact, the heightened security outside North Bengal Secretariat has been heightened by the West Bengal police officials. Everywhere barricade has been put up, left, right and center, not allowing the Adivasis to move towards the Secretariat. But these are the visuals. Right now the protest is happening as protesters are seeking justice for the assault of the tribal who was assaulted brutally, and the police didn't even file the complaint initially, and they are seeking justice in this matter. These are the visuals from the Siliguri, and the protest has continued from last 1 hour. The protesters first gathered there in numbers 250 to 100 to move towards North Bengal Secretariat, but after some time the protesters, the numbers kept on increasing, and therefore more than 25 to 30 police officials were first deployed at that place, but now the numbers have increased. The entire route has been blocked, the traffic has been diverted, not allowing these Adivasis tribals to move ahead towards the Secretariat. These are the visuals. As we clearly see, the police officials are continuously trying to disperse the protesters, not allowing them to go ahead, but they are now jumping over the barricade, trying to go to the other location. The police officials taking control of the protesters, trying to move them to other location. But right now these are the visuals, and protesters are huge in number. They are huge in number. They have come from different locations. This protest was organized. It was planned by the Adivasi group to hold against the government, to hold against the police officials of West Bengal, seeking justice for the assault of the tribal, and that the assaulters should be taken into custody. Justice should be given, and an FIR and proper complaint should be registered in this matter. So what we are looking at is the visuals, and till now they have not been dispersed. The protesters seem to be heavy and huge in number. They are continuously increasing as we speak. For now, they have not dispersed from the location. It's being very difficult for the police officials as well to disperse them. So these are the visuals. It is because of the assault and the justice which was not given to the assaulter, justice was not given to that particular Adivasi who was brutally assaulted. Back to you.
Yes, definitely. It's a very big protest. The live visuals, as we can see on the television screen. Now, this is the Adivasi community, and this is a protest which is happening in Siliguri, West Bengal, near Darjeeling. And live visuals, but also the way police has reacted against the peaceful protest that was being organized by the Adivasi community in that region. Arsha, if you can share more details on the reason of the protest, on the assault that was on the tribal woman, the assault that took place on the tribal woman. More details on that too, Harsha.
So the tribal woman was assaulted. She was assaulted brutally. The assault came in light, few days ago. And when the woman was assaulted, the entire family members went towards to lodge a complaint. And in fact, the complaint was not lodged. In fact, they kept on sitting outside the police station to get the complaint lodged against the assault. But the police officials dispersed them that very day when the police complaint was supposed to be lodged. In fact, they went to the local, local leader as well to help them in this certain matter. But they were not helped, and that's the reason why they were seeking, they wanted to have a peaceful protest march towards the North Bengal Secretariat. And this very moment, they, since morning, were gathered there to move towards North Bengal Secretariat and to ensure that this matter is looked by the government. They take it seriously, the matter is registered, and the justice should be given. And that's the reason why since morning only 30 people, 30 Adivasis were there gathered, in Siliguri, this particular area, moving towards Secretariat. But the police used the force. The police used the force the moment they were heading towards the Secretariat, and that moment the force was used by police officials. They started throwing water cannons and smoke guns at them instantly when they started their march. So these are the visuals, and it gets more and more, and you see more and more in huge numbers now. The protesters have gathered. Now they have taken a particular site, particular route going towards from the service area, but they are not been allowed to come to the main road. But still, the force used by police officers have not been controlled. They are still using water cannon. They are still using smoke guns. They are still not letting the protesters jump the barricade. They are jumping from the barricade to go towards Secretariat. And it's very, it's very sad. It's very sad state that a woman was brutally assaulted. The entire family members went to the police officers to get the case registered. The case was not registered. In fact, the assaulters were not arrested. They were, they fled from this spot. They were not even searched by the police officers. That was the anger amongst the Adivasis in this entire matter. Back to you.
Definitely, clearly negligence on the part of the police when they did not register a complaint in this matter on the assault of the tribal woman. The family went to the police station, but they neglected the victim, and they did not register a complaint. And this is a very big protest which is happening right now in North Bengal, in Siliguri, in the North Bengal region of West Bengal. This pictures are coming, live visuals coming in from Siliguri, West Bengal, on your television screens, ladies and gentlemen. And people have gathered in a very large number. Harsha, if you can describe more on the visuals. It seems to be a very big protest right now, which is happening in the Siliguri region over the assault of a tribal woman, over the assault of a tribal. More details on this, because they have been demanding justice, and justice was denied, and hence the protest that is taking place.
Yes, we see the visuals as we see that the protesters are running. They are, they are with the placards. They are burning the effigy. The entire area could not be cordoned off. And these are the live visuals, the live visuals of just now. When we are speaking right now, these are the live visuals when the protesters deny to cordon off the area, and the police trying hard, using hard force to cordon off. They are, in fact, using the force. The lathis are also being used. But the visuals speak for itself. You see, they are burning the effigy fire all down in the middle of the route. In the middle of the main road, we can see the effigies are being burnt, and also the placards which are being used, and also sloganeering against the government, which is heavy, which is huge. These are the fresh visuals, and let me tell you, the protesters are not just 50 to 60. They are more in number. There are approximately.
All right, viewers, these are the live pictures coming in from Israel, and this after the bilateral talks that took place between India and Israel, between Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Benjamin Netanyahu, and the Israeli president. And there's a lot on the agenda, and exclusive pictures, live visuals, first on Republic on your television screen, as you can see right now.
One defined by the deep friendship between Prime Minister Netanyahu and Prime Minister Modi, and by the ongoing and remarkable cooperation between Israel and India. If everyone could just please be seated for us. Thank you. The fabric of this relationship continues to grow stronger, and we stand on the cusp of opportunities that will yield tremendous results and strengthen our resilience in high-tech artificial intelligence, quantum computing, as well as economic, diplomatic, and security collaboration. Now, we are pleased to announce that a variety of agreements will be signed by the State of Israel and the Republic of India, agreements that will strengthen our partnership, drive innovation, and deepen the bond between Jerusalem and New Delhi. We will now begin the signing of these agreements in the presence of both Prime Ministers. The Cultural Exchange Program and the Memorandum of Understanding to the India-Israel Innovation Center for Agriculture will be signed by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Gideon Sar, and External Affairs Minister, Mr. Jai Shankar. Please take the stage. Thank you both. Thank you. You can exit the stage now as we continue. The Memorandum of Understanding in the field of geophysical exploration will be signed by the Energy and Infrastructure Mr. Eli Cohen and External Affairs Minister Mr. Jai Shankar as well. Please take the stage as well. Thank you both. And now, the Memorandum of Understanding for Development of the National Maritime Heritage Complex in Lothal will be signed by the Minister of Heritage, Mr. Amichai Eliyahu, and the External Affairs Minister, Mr. Jai Shankar. Please take the stage. Thank you. Thank you both. And now the Declaration of Intent in the field of horizon scanning will be signed by the Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology, Ms. Gila Gamliel, and External Affairs Minister, Mr. Jai Shankar. Please take the stage. Thank you both. And now the Memorandum of Understanding on Cooperation in the field of Fisheries and Aquaculture will be signed by Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Mr. Avi Dichter, and the External Affairs Minister, Mr. Jai Shankar. Please take the stage. Thank you both. And now the Memorandum of Understanding on the Cooperation on Advancing Education through the Use of Artificial Intelligence will be signed by the Minister of Education, Mr. Yoav Kish, and the External Affairs Minister, Mr. Jai Shankar. Please take the stage. Thank you both very much. And the presentation of the report of the 4th India-Israel CEO Forum will be presented by the Trade Commissioner for the Ministry of Economy, Mr. Roy Fisher, and the Ambassador of India to Israel, Ambassador J.P. Singh. Please take the stage. And now the implementation protocol to the agreement in commerce and services sector, the manufacturing sector, and the restaurant sector will be signed by the Director of Foreign Workers Administration at the Population and Immigration Authority, Mr. Moshe Nakash, and the Foreign Secretary for the Republic of India, Mr. Vikram Misri. Please take the stage. Thank you. The letter of intent on the establishment of the Cyber Center of Excellence will now be signed by the Director General of the National Cyber Directorate, Mr. Yossi Karadi, and the Foreign Secretary for the Republic of India, Mr. Vikram Misri. Thank you both. And now the Memorandum of Understanding between NPCI, International Payments Limited, and Masav, linking UPI, will now be signed by the CEO of Masav, Ophir Kadosh, and the Ambassador of India to Israel, Ambassador J.P. Singh. Thank you. And now the agreement on commercial arbitration will now be signed by attorney Dr. Menashe Cohen and the Ambassador of India to Israel, Ambassador J.P. Singh. Thank you. The Memorandum of Understanding between the International Financial Services Center Authority and the International Securities Authority will now be signed by the Chairman of the Israel Securities Authority, Advisor Yosef Zinger, and the Ambassador of India to Israel, Ambassador J.P. Singh. Thank you. And finally, our last one today, the Memorandum of Understanding on Artificial Intelligence will now be signed by the Director of the National Artificial Intelligence Directorate, Brigadier General in the Reserves, Erez Askal, and the Ambassador of India to Israel, Ambassador J.P. Singh. Thank you all for your participation today. I now want to welcome to the stage, to the podium, the Prime Minister of the State of Israel, Mr. Benjamin Netanyahu, and the Prime Minister of the Republic of India, Mr. Narendra Modi, to share a few remarks.
This is an amazing visit. An amazing conclusion to an amazing visit. It was short, but extraordinarily productive and also extraordinarily moving. I think there wasn't a dry eye left in Israel after your moving statement yesterday in the Knesset. And I can tell you that since then we've had also the opportunity to not look all deep into our hearts, but also into our remarkable minds that we have in our two countries. We saw an exhibit of innovation that excites imagination beyond belief. We spoke about cooperation with the extraordinarily talented people of India and our people, and we're working this into concrete plans. I'll just give you two examples. You know, you talk about precision agriculture. You know what that means. It means you don't average irrigate a field. You target a specific part. No, you target a specific plant. You water a plant. Well, why can't you water a specific student's mind? When we talk about precision education, We have now the software and the AI to reach every young student, boy or girl, and enable them to reach their full potential. And the limitations that were constraining us in previous times no longer constrain us. That is, to those who seize the future. The future belongs to those who innovate, and Israel and India are bent on innovation. We are proud ancient civilizations, very proud of our past, but absolutely determined to seize the future, and we can do it better together. We've decided to have a G2G meeting in India as soon as we can arrange it. We'd like to take the distinguished ministers who are here. I have to comment, my friend Narendra, you have an amazingly efficient government. What you can do with one minister and one ambassador. Now, it gives me thoughts. I don't want you to worry about it. Don't worry about it. But in fact, we know that the meeting of minds and hearts that we've had here will also continue in this remarkable G2G that is long overdue and will create an even greater boost to the enormous benefits that we can bring to each other and I think to humanity at large. And finally, I have to say at the end of this visit that I owe India, I don't know if I told you this, Narendra, but I owe India a great personal debt. You see, when I met Sarah for the first time, I think our first or second date was in an Indian restaurant in Tel Aviv. It was Rina Pashkarna. And I have to tell you, there is no question. First of all, the food was unbelievable. And Sarah was introduced to it for the first time, so it was a great first date, not only with the food, the date was excellent too. So obviously, I'm indebted to you, as are my children, and I want to tell you how deeply and from the heart we feel both our personal friendship and the friendship between our governments and our peoples, and may this continue and flourish and strengthen, as I'm sure it will as a result of this visit. Thank you, Narendra, and thank you all. Thank you.
So I love to use. Your Excellency, प्रधानमंत्री और मेरे मित्र नेतन्याहू, मिसेस नेतन्याहू, दोनों देशों के डेलीगेट्स, मीडिया के साथियों, नमस्कार, शालोम। मेरे और भारतीय डेलीगेशन के गर्मजोशी भरे स्वागत के लिए मैं प्रधानमंत्री नेतन्याहू का एक बार फिर हृदय से आभार व्यक्त करता हूं। 9 वर्ष पहले मुझे इजरायल की यात्रा करने वाले पहले भारतीय प्रधानमंत्री बनने का सौभाग्य मिला था। एक बार फिर इजरायल की ऐतिहासिक भूमि पर कदम रखना मेरे लिए गर्व और भावुकता का क्षण है। कल मुझे इजरायल के पार्लियामेंट को संबोधित करने का अवसर मिला। वहां मुझे स्पीकर ऑफ द क्नेसेट मेडल से भी सम्मानित किया गया। मैं इस सम्मान के लिए क्नेसेट स्पीकर महोदय, मेरे मित्र प्रधानमंत्री नेतन्याहू और इजरायल के लोगों का हार्दिक आभार व्यक्त करता हूं और इसे 140 करोड़ भारतवासी और भारत इजराइल मित्रता को मैं समर्पित करता हूं। फ्रेंड्स, हमारे संबंध गहरे विश्वास, साझा लोकतांत्रिक मूल्यों और मानवीय संवेदनाओं की मजबूत आधारशिला पर आधारित है, उस पर स्थापित है। हमारे रिश्ते समय की हर कसौटी पर खरे उतरे हैं। आज हमने अपनी टाइम टेस्टेड साझेदारी को स्पेशल स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनरशिप का दर्जा देने का ऐतिहासिक निर्णय लिया है। यह निर्णय दोनों देशों के लोगों की आकांक्षाओं का प्रतिबिंब है। फ्रेंड्स, आज की बैठक में हमने अपने सहयोग को नई दिशा और तेज गति देने पर चर्चा की। हमारा आर्थिक सहयोग ग्रोथ, इनोवेशन और शेयर प्रॉस्पेरिटी का इंजन बना हुआ है। आपसी निवेश को बढ़ावा देने के लिए हमने पिछले वर्ष बायलैटरल इन्वेस्टमेंट एग्रीमेंट किया। हम शीघ्र ही एक म्यूचुअली बेनिफिशियल फ्री ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट को भी अंतिम रूप देंगे। टेक्नोलॉजी हमारी भावी साझेदारी का केंद्र है। आज हमने क्रिटिकल एंड इमर्जिंग टेक्नोलॉजी पार्टनरशिप स्थापित करने का निर्णय लिया है। इससे एआई, क्वांटम और क्रिटिकल मिनरल्स जैसे क्षेत्रों में सहयोग को नई गति मिलेगी। मुझे खुशी है कि इजरायल में यूपीआई के इस्तेमाल के लिए समझौता किया गया है। डिजिटल हेल्थ के क्षेत्र में भी हम अपने अनुभव साझा करते हुए लोगों के जीवन में सुधार लाने के लिए प्रतिबद्ध हैं। रक्षा के क्षेत्र में हमारा दशकों पुराना विश्वसनीय सहयोग रहा है। पिछले वर्ष हुए एमओयू से इसमें नए आयाम जुड़ेंगे। हम मिलकर जॉइंट डेवलपमेंट, जॉइंट प्रोडक्शन और ट्रांसफर ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी की दिशा में आगे बढ़ेंगे। साथ ही हम सिविल न्यूक्लियर एनर्जी और स्पेस जैसे क्षेत्रों में भी सहयोग आगे बढ़ाएंगे। फ्रेंड्स, दोनों देशों के बीच कृषि सहयोग का लंबा और सफल इतिहास रहा है। आज हमने इस सहयोग को फ्यूचरिस्टिक दिशा देने का संकल्प लिया है। इजरायल के सहयोग से भारत में स्थापित सेंटर्स ऑफ एक्सीलेंस हमारी मित्रता के उत्तम उदाहरण है। इनकी सफलता देखते हुए हमने इनकी संख्या 100 तक ले जाने का 100 तक ले जाने का लक्ष्य निर्धारित किया है। इस दिशा में एक कदम और बढ़ाते हुए विलेजेस ऑफ एक्सीलेंस बनाने पर भी काम कर रहे हैं। इससे इजरायली टेक्नोलॉजी भारत के गांव-गांव तक पहुंचेगी और लाखों किसानों की आय और उत्पादकता में बहुत बढ़ोतरी होगी। हम मिलकर फ्यूचर रेडी फार्मिंग सॉल्यूशंस भी विकसित करेंगे। भारत में इंडिया इजराइल इनोवेशन सेंटर फॉर एग्रीकल्चर की स्थापना इस सहयोग के लिए मजबूत आधार प्रदान करेगी। फ्रेंड्स, हमारे पीपल टू पीपल टाइज हमारे संबंधों का एक महत्वपूर्ण स्तंभ है। 2023 में हुए मैन पावर मोबिलिटी एग्रीमेंट के माध्यम से भारत ने इजराइल के कंस्ट्रक्शन और केयर गिवर सेक्टर्स में महत्वपूर्ण योगदान दिया है। भारतीय कामगारों ने अपनी मेहनत, प्रतिबद्धता और कौशल से विश्वास अर्जित किया है। मुझे खुशी है कि इस सहयोग का विस्तार कॉमर्स और सर्विसेज जैसे क्षेत्रों में भी किया जा रहा है। दोनों देशों के युवाओं, रिसर्चर्स और इनोवेटर्स को जोड़ना हमारी मुख्य प्राथमिकता रही है। इस दिशा में आज हम इंडिया इजराइल एकेडमिक फोरम की स्थापना कर रहे हैं। फ्रेंड्स, आज हमने क्षेत्रीय एवं वैश्विक मुद्दों पर भी व्यापक चर्चा की। क्षेत्रीय कनेक्टिविटी को बढ़ावा देते हुए हम इंडिया मिडिल ईस्ट यूरोप इकोनॉमिक कॉरिडोर आईमैक और इंडिया इजराइल यूएई यूएसए यानी I2U2 पर नई गति से आगे बढ़ेंगे। फ्रेंड्स, भारत और इजराइल पूरी तरह से स्पष्ट है कि आतंकवाद का दुनिया में कोई स्थान नहीं है। किसी भी रूप में, किसी भी अभिव्यक्ति में आतंकवाद को स्वीकार नहीं किया जा सकता। हम कंधे से कंधा मिलाकर आतंकवाद और उनके समर्थकों का विरोध करते रहे हैं और आगे भी करते रहेंगे। पश्चिम एशिया में शांति और स्थिरता से भारत के सीधे सुरक्षा हित जुड़े हैं। इसलिए हमने शुरुआत से ही संवाद और शांतिपूर्ण समाधान का समर्थन किया है। यही ग्लोबल साउथ और पूरी मानवता की पुकार है। भारत की सोच स्पष्ट है। ह्यूमैनिटी मस्ट नेवर बिकम अ विक्टिम ऑफ कॉन्फ्लिक्ट। गाजा पीस प्लान से शांति का एक रास्ता बना है। भारत ने इन प्रयासों का पूर्ण समर्थन किया है। भविष्य में भी हम सभी देशों के साथ संवाद और सहयोग जारी रखेंगे। एक्सेलेंसी, माय डियर फ्रेंड, आपकी आत्मीयता और गर्मजोशी ने मेरी यात्रा को यादगार बना दिया है। मैं एक बार फिर आपसे और इजराइल के लोगों से जो प्यार मिला है, जो स्नेह मिला है, जो सम्मान मिला है, इसके लिए हृदय से बहुत बहुत आभार व्यक्त करता हूं। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। तोदा रब्बा।
Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. I ask you to just remain seated, please, both Prime Minister Netanyahu and Prime Minister Modi, before they have departed. So just remain in your seats. Thank you very much.
All right, viewers. So what we see is that Prime Minister Modi has just and PM Netanyahu concluding the joint statement. And Prime Minister Modi has dedicated the Speaker of the Knesset medal to 140 crore Indians. Prime Minister Modi thanked Netanyahu for the warm welcome extended to him and his delegation. He recalled his first visit to Israel 9 years ago and said returning after a decade was a proud moment. And referring to being honored with the Speaker of the Knesset medal, he stated, I dedicate this award to 140 crore Indians and the India-Israel friendship. Prime Minister Modi hailing the India-Israel defense, trade and tech partnership. In a joint statement, we see that Netanyahu and Prime Minister Modi have hailed the India-Israel bilateral strategic partnership, tech cooperation, defense ties, saying that they transcend limits of just friendship. So India and Israel have also signed 16 bilateral agreements. India and Israel signed 16 agreements and made 11 announcements totaling around 27 key bilateral outcomes. So huge statements coming in there. Prime Minister Modi thanking Netanyahu, Speaker, people of Israel for his grand welcome that he received. All right, also Prime Minister Modi shaking hands with his counterpart after that statement. And Netanyahu also said that it was a very productive visit of Prime Minister Modi. So Netanyahu very surprised in a good way that the government being run by PM Modi is very efficient. Let's move ahead. Home Minister Amit Shah addressed a public gathering in Bihar after inaugurating 2 new border outposts. And he's laid the foundation stone for many projects as well. In his address, Shah focused sharply on border security, infiltration and illegal encroachments in the Simanchal region. Take a look.
हमने चुनाव में बिहार की जनता को वादा किया था कि हम बिहार को घुसपैठियों से मुक्त करेंगे। घुसपैठियों से मुक्ति से मतलब सिर्फ मतदाता सूची से नाम हटाना नहीं, हम कृतनिश्चयी है कि एक घुसपैठिए को भारत की भूमि से चुन कर भारत के बाहर भेजने का कार्यक्रम करेंगे। और भारतीय जनता पार्टी स्पष्ट कर देना चाहती है, मेरी सरकार भी स्पष्ट करना चाहती है कि वादा चुनावी वादा नहीं है। नरेंद्र मोदी सरकार का ये दृढ़ संकल्प है कि पूरे देश को हम घुसपैठियों से मुक्त करेंगे और ये पूरे सीमांचल क्षेत्र में ये शुरुआत कुछ ही समय में होने जा रही है। मैं खुद चुनाव के वक्त 4 दिन सीमांचल में रहा था, हर जिले में गया हूं और ये वादा किया है जनता को कि हम पूरे सीमांचल को घुसपैठियों से मुक्त करेंगे। आमतौर पर नेताओं के वादे जनता को याद कराना पड़ता है, मगर आज मैं सीमांचल की जनता को मेरा वादा याद कराने आया हूं, क्योंकि मुझे सीमांचल की जनता का सहयोग चाहिए। घुसपैठिए सीट हमारे चुनाव को प्रभावित नहीं करते हैं। गरीबों के राशन में भी वो हिस्सा ले जाते हैं। हमारी रोजगारी में भी हमारे युवाओं की सारी संभावनाओं को क्षीण करते हैं और इसके साथ साथ राष्ट्र की सुरक्षा के लिए भी एक घुसपैठिए बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज है।
So that was Home Minister Amit Shah saying that Bihar will soon be free of infiltrators. A big and strong message coming there from Amit Shah. On that note, taking a very short break. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back. CGI pulls up NCERT over textbook content and accountability, seeks clear response on revision. Stay tuned.
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरीडे।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
Now here's the reality, it's fact not fiction. You are sitting on a plane. You're boarding the plane in the national capital of India for Leh at 6:08 in the morning. It's a SpiceJet plane. 6 minutes into the take, against the backdrop of daybreak and a beautiful sunrise, you suddenly look to your right towards the wings and you see the flames of fire on the wings of the plane. Your plane is on fire. Ladies and gentlemen, these are real visuals. This is the reality that the Civil Aviation Minister does not want you to see. This is the reality SpiceJet does not want you to see. This is the reality DGCA does not want you to see. Because at the cockpit, at that very moment while you're sitting in the plane, there are calls of Mayday, 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 Mayday.
प्रदीप जी, ये 8 साल का बच्चा कोमा में है, पुलिस 5 दिन से कुछ नहीं कर पाई है अभी तक। वो जो पिस्टल है, लाइसेंस पिस्टल है, वो तक बरामद नहीं कर पाई है। आपके विधानसभा के लोग हैं सर, जवाब मांग रहे हैं आपसे। प्रदीप जी, एक जवाब, आपके ही लोग हैं, आपसे बात। सर, एक बच्चा 8 साल का, आप बिल्कुल आप भोजन कर लीजिएगा। एक 8 साल का
अपराधी है, उसमें उसको सजा मिलेगी। पुलिस ने FIR दर्ज करा ली, वो लश्त करेगी।
सर 5 दिन हो गए बच्चा।
कोई बात नहीं है ना, पुलिस ने FIR दर्ज कर ली ना।
अभी 5 दिन में क्यों? क्योंकि अभी तक उनको वो लाइसेंस वेपन है वो भी बरामद।
विधानसभा में चली, विधानसभा से आई तो माता वैष्णो देवी चले गए। अभी कल लौटे, कल उसके परिवार के लोग आए थे।
आपकी उनके परिवार वालों से अभी तक बात हो पाई?
कल उन परिवार में संस्कार आया था, मेरे को नहीं पता क्या परिवार में है, लेकिन मैंने उनसे कहा कि जो भी मदद हुई करेगी।
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता, उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ, 8 मिनट में तैयार। क्या टेस्ट है, सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
Now here's the reality, it's fact not fiction. You are sitting on a plane. You're boarding the plane in the national capital of India for Leh at 6:08 in the morning.
मैम नीचे देखिए।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा,
राजा आर प्योर मसाला। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी। अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
Now here's the reality, it's fact not fiction. You are sitting on a plane. You're boarding the plane in the national capital of India for Leh at 6:08 in the morning. It's a SpiceJet plane. 6 minutes into the take, against the backdrop of daybreak and a beautiful sunrise, you suddenly look to your right towards the wings and you see the flames of fire.
Ma'am, what are the...
investigation is going on. We cooperate with you.
See, you can currently see the AIB officials. Some officials have come out of the office. So what are the angles you are proving, sir? Ma'am, what are the angles that you are proving in the incident?
We are in process.
Sir, can you please tell us something about the incident?
I will come back, surely.
Sir, can you please tell us?
I will come back. I am giving you guarantee, I will come back.
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला। सिप सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप।
Our pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
Now here's the reality. It's fact, not fiction. You are sitting on a plane. You're boarding the plane in the national capital of India for Leh at 6:08 in the morning. It's a SpiceJet plane. 6 minutes into the take, against the backdrop of daybreak and a beautiful sunrise, you suddenly look to your right towards the wings and
राहुल जी जनरल नरवणे ने कहा है कि वो आप गलत कह रहे हैं। राहुल जी जनरल नरवणे ने कहा कि आप गलत कह रहे हैं। भारत की जमीन पर कब्जा नहीं हुआ। और राहुल जी जनरल नरवणे ने कहा है कि आप गलत कह रहे हैं, गलत आर्टिकल का हवाला दे रहे हैं, भारत की जमीन पर कब्जा नहीं कर रहे हैं। जनरल नरवणे ने कहा है कि आपने अज्ञात सूत्रों का हवाला दिया है, भारत की जमीन पर कब्जा नहीं हुआ है। राहुल जी आपने गलत कहा था, जनरल नरवणे ने कहा कि अज्ञात सूत्रों का हवाला।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ 8 मिनट में तैयार। क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी।
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल। ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े। क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
Now here's the reality. It's fact, not fiction. You are sitting on a plane. You're boarding the plane in the national capital of India for Leh at 6:08 in the morning. It's a SpiceJet plane. 6 minutes into the take, against the backdrop of daybreak and a beautiful sunrise, you suddenly look to your right towards the wings and you see the flames of fire on the wings of the plane. Your plane is on fire. Ladies and gentlemen, these are real visuals. This is the reality that the Civil Aviation Minister does not want you to see. This is the reality SpiceJet does not want you to see. This is the reality.
सवाल मेरा आपसे है, ये बताइए कितने लोग इसमें इन्वॉल्व थे और आप लोगों की क्या भूमिका रही है इसमें? क्या सवाल सर ये नहीं, ये बताइए 3 लोग जो आपने सस्पेंड किए गए लोग, उन लोगों के नाम बताइए आपने, कौन वो लोग थे जिनको सस्पेंड किया गया?
ऑथराइज नहीं हो बोलने के लिए।
अच्छा, उसके साथ आप बताइए क्या थर्ड पार्टी भी इन्वॉल्व है इसमें? थर्ड पार्टी भी इन्वॉल्व है इसमें क्या? क्योंकि पैसा इसमें गया है 590 करोड़। क्या पैसा सर
आपको चोट लग जाएगी?
पैसा इन्वॉल्व है क्या इसमें? आप बताइए थर्ड पार्टी। रिपब्लिक टीवी सवाल पूछ रहा है आपसे, आप बताइए क्या इसमें और लोग भी इन्वॉल्व है क्या?
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Indo-Israel exchange key agreements, MOU signed on artificial intelligence, UPI payments. ED questions Anil Ambani in connection with the money laundering and fraud charges. CBI also registered a case against Anil Ambani, initiating a fresh investigation into the Bank of Baroda charges. The court stays proceedings linked to the Kerala story, granting interim relief amid legal challenge. A dramatic face-off erupts between two police units. Visual access show a tense on-ground confrontation. At Congress attempt to buy influencers and run down the AI summit, BJP claims conspiracy was bigger. Avi Mukteshwara Anand is in big trouble as he's likely to be questioned in the Pocso case and sexual assault charges. Strong message from army leadership signals operational readiness along the western front, says we are ready to enter from the land route. CGI pulls up NCERT over textbook content and accountability, seeks clear response on revision. Getting some big updates coming in, viewers. CBI conducts searches at the office and residence of Anil Ambani in the latest FIR that has been registered. The Bank of Baroda complaint says bank has suffered a loss of more than 2,200 crore. Big updates coming in on Republic TV, viewers. Once CBI raids Anil Ambani's residence and office. This is the latest that we're getting for our viewers, because remember that after ED, CBI has registered a case against Anil Ambani over 2,000 crore loan default. The complaint alleges that Reliance Communications, along with Anil Ambani, unknown others, cheated the bank and dishonestly induced it during the period of 2013 to 2017. CBI conducts searches at Anil Ambani's residence. It's the latest. We'll try to go across to our colleague Revati in a short while from now to understand what this fresh case is all about. A development coming in after action by ED, with the CBI now initiating another criminal investigation based on a formal complaint from the bank. Anil Ambani appeared before the ED earlier, so those are the pictures that are coming in. The ED has issued fresh summons to the Reliance Group chairman, directing him to appear for questioning. This happened today because he was failing to attend the deposition last week. Okay, so big updates coming in, viewers, on Republic TV, and the charges which have been invoked are FIR has cited offences under Section 120B, criminal conspiracy, 420, cheating, along with Section 113, 2, and much more. CBI has now formally entered the case after ED's action. A probe is expected to examine the loan sanction processes, fund utilization, and possible diversion of funds. So this will be the key focus of the CBI. Big updates coming in, viewers, on Republic TV. Mounting debt and operational challenges already have been haunting Reliance Communications. More trouble coming in from Anil Ambani. So after ED, CBI registers the case against Anil Ambani over the 2,000 crore loan default. CBI is conducting the searches at the office and residence of Anil Ambani in the latest FIR that has been registered. The Bank of Baroda complaint. A bank has suffered a loss of more than 2,220 crores. Huge updates coming in, viewers, on Republic TV. These are pictures coming in from earlier today when we saw that Anil Ambani had appeared before the ED. The CBI case against Ambani is a fresh one. A new case against Anil Ambani for an alleged 2,223.17 crore fraud on Bank of Baroda between 2013 and 2017. This development occurs as Anil Ambani faces intensified scrutiny from the ED with his Mumbai residence has been attached. CBI is right now raiding Anil Ambani's residence and office. New charges are about RCOM's protracted corporate insolvency resolution process, potentially delaying creditor recovery and adding complexity to the very, very distressed Reliance Communication financial restructuring. Huge updates because this is a fresh criminal investigation by the CBI into this fraud by Anil Ambani Reliance Communication Limited Let's go straight across to my colleague. We're being joined by a Deputy Executive Editor, Shravan. Shravan, if you just could take a help our viewers understand what's the latest. CBI is conducting the searches at Anil Ambani's residence.
Well, in fact, Shivangi, this is the second case that has been registered against Anil Ambani by the Central Bureau of Investigation. This is based on a complaint that was first filed by Bank of Baroda. In the complaint that was filed by Bank of Baroda to the central agency, they have essentially alleged that the bank has suffered a loss of over 2,000 crore rupees. In fact, this was after funds that were basically diverted, is what we are given to
Check 1 to 3.
By companies that have been linked to Anil Ambani. Reliance Communication is the company in question. In fact, as we speak, it turns out that there have been searches that have been carried out in Mumbai, searches that were basically carried out by the Central Bureau of Investigation in Mumbai at the residence as well as in the office.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Shravan is getting us all these details coming in. It's a fresh criminal investigation by the CBI, casting further shadow because we know that the company is already in a very troubled financial state. And this is coming just after action by the ED. A lot of uncertainty for Anil Ambani. You know, it's very complex. But it's a deepening legal storm that Anil Ambani could be seeing next too, Shravan.
Well, this comes at a time when Anil Ambani is already facing questions by the Enforcement Directorate. In fact, this is the third appearance that he is making before the Enforcement Directorate. So while he is at the office of the Enforcement Directorate, the Central Bureau of Investigation has also stepped in, filing a case against Anil Ambani. Reliance Communication has been named in this company. As far as this FIR goes, important to highlight the fact that Anil Ambani, all this while, Shivangi, has essentially been stating that these are decisions that were taken by the board members and not by him individually. It turns out from the investigation that has been carried out by the Enforcement Directorate and the documents that have been accessed is that he himself had given a personal guarantee to a consortium of banks. And based on that personal guarantee is how the loans were basically granted to a consortium of banks to begin with. And not just that, it seems that this was the same modus operandi that was adopted by Anil Ambani when it came to Chinese lenders. Those loans also turned out to be NPA. And that is the reason why the question here is that whether at all Anil Ambani was diverting these funds to related parties, third-party entities, and whether at all these loans were actually used for the purpose for which they had basically asked for.
All right, well, Shravan, thank you for getting us all those details. CBI raids Anil Ambani's residence and office because, like Shravan was telling us, CBI has filed a new case against Anil Ambani for an alleged 2,223.17 crore fraud on Bank of Baroda between 2013 and 2017. Now, CBI is conducting these raids. So, more legal trouble for Anil Ambani. And like we were discussing, there could be a bigger legal storm which could be waiting for Anil Ambani. Big updates coming in, viewers, on Republic TV. This is a criminal case against Anil Ambani alleging fraud against the Bank of Baroda. This probe stems from a formal complaint filed with the bank itself, accusing Ambani and others for being dishonestly inducing the lender to incur a wrongful loss. FIR invokes charges under sections which are related to criminal conspiracy and cheating. Okay, so was there an attempt to buy influencers and run down the AI summit? Well, there's a big twist which is coming in, and for that, I want to go across to our executive editor, Niranjan. Niranjan, we're getting news that influencers claim they were paid to campaign to run down the AI summit.
Well, several influencers have actually gone on air and they've gone on record and they have made this claim that they were approached by different agencies for a collab. So that's the term, right? I mean, you do a collab with influencers for a campaign. And many such influencers have spoken out. And one such influencer is joining us live on Republic. I'd like to show you the screenshot first up that he put up. That's Ravi Vishwakarma. Ravi Vishwakarma is an influencer who has put out a video. And in this video, he's attached a few snapshots as well. And in these snapshots, what is coming through, and it's a claim made by Ravi Vishwakarma, is that perhaps some agencies were keen on paying influencers to speak negatively about the AI summit. Let me go across straight to him. Ravi, hi, good evening. Can you hear me? Ravi Vishwakarma?
Hello. Yes, I can hear you. Am I audible?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you clearly. So, Ravi, this morning, you put out a video as well. So, I'll ask our producers to pull up that video. I'll play that video that you put out. And in that video, you made a claim that you were approached by a few handles / agencies asking for a collab. They tried to pay you to run down the AI summit. Is that correct?
Yes, I was contacted by a few agencies, as I have shown on social media publicly.
Yeah.
It is visible to like all of country if they want to see.
Yeah.
I have uploaded both of the videos, and the agency wanted to contact me, and they said we want to collab. They haven't revealed their client yet, but it was an agency. I know her name, the one who contacted me, but I cannot disclose it to you. But yes, I was contacted, and yeah, right now she has blocked me, but I was contacted and I brought this issue to notice.
And what did they tell you? How did they contact you? What was the messaging, if I can say that? What was the messaging they wanted from you for money to run down the AI summit?
See, they were offering me huge amount of money. I lost your voice, but I think you are asking about how much they were paying me, right?
Yeah, I'm asking how much were they paying you and what was the
me around,
messaging?
40K, which is a huge amount that you'll get paid. And I have tagged those screenshots, but I'm yet to, know who was their client. But all they wanted was to defame the AI summit, and I do not know what was the actual reason behind it. To defame our country's AI summit as an influencer, as an Indian, I don't think so. It is the right way. So I rejected that offer. Am I audible? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you, Ravi. Ravi, I can hear you clearly. Yeah. In fact, we'll take the multiple windows, ladies and gentlemen. On one hand, we'll show you the AI summit, what happened at the AI summit. And at the AI summit, there was an attempt to create, ruckus, that Banyan circus that we saw, where a few Congress workers came and stalled the AI summit. And there was an attempt to run it down. And Ravi is joining us, and Ravi claims that there was an attempt made to pay influencers. Now, that's a claim made. So, Ravi, my last question to you is, how did it end with this person who contacted you?
It ended as soon as I rejected that offer, but they were trying to negotiate maybe some higher prices that will pay you, and you just need to, who wanted to defame it. I think it's clear to the country who wanted to defame it. I'm not taking any names, but everyone knows who wanted to defame the AI summit and who wanted to, tarnish the country's image. So it ended like she or that person was trying to, these screenshots which you are playing just beside me, just separate window mein. But yes, all chats are mine, and this person wanted to negotiate at the end, but I rejected that offer. Yeah.
Okay. Ravi, I'll leave it at that because it's interesting. This morning we heard even the BJP made some claims, some BJP handles, BJP leaders started tweeting about this. They claimed that influencers were roped in and money was paid, and there are many videos doing the rounds and you're adding to that. So it becomes interesting, even though you're not naming anyone, even the Congress party has not reacted to it. There is no response from the Congress party to this entire controversy. Let's leave it at this. I'll leave it at this for now. I thank you for joining us, Ravi. But what I'll also do is I will play out the video that you posted so that viewers get an idea about what happened. The video posted by influencer Ravi Vishwakarma. Take a look.
कौन है ये लड़की जो इंडिया की बुराई करने के लिए मुझे 40,000 पे कर रही थी? कहीं मैंने तो प्लांट नहीं कर दिया। इसका कहना है मैं इन्हें डिफेम ना करूं, ये लोग पॉलिटिकली बैक्ड हैं, मुझे कोर्ट में भी घसीट सकते हैं और शुरुआती डेज में मुझे इतने बड़े पंगे नहीं लेना चाहिए क्योंकि मेरे अभी 200 के फॉलोअर्स भी नहीं है। एक्चुअली ट्रू, मुझे इनिशियल डेज में इतने बड़े पंगे नहीं लेना चाहिए, वो भी तब जब मेरे 200 के फॉलोअर्स भी ना हो। तो एक काम करते हैं, जैसे ही मेरे 100 के फॉलोअर्स होंगे मैं आपकी प्रोफाइल फोटो पब्लिक कर दूंगा। कौन है ये लड़की जो इंडिया की बुराई करने के लिए मुझे 40,000 पे कर रही थी? कहीं मैंने तो प्लांट नहीं कर दिया। इसका कहना है मैं इन्हें डिफेम ना करूं, ये लोग पॉलिटिकली बैक।
And shifting focus, Telangana government is set to acquire all land and residential areas within 50 meters of the Musi River for the implementation of the ambitious Musi Riverfront Development Project. Authorities have issued evacuation notification for the land acquisition. However, residents are protesting the move, saying it will render them homeless. Here's a full story. Take a look.
The Telangana Congress government has issued a notification to evacuate apartments near the Musi River to construct the tallest Mahatma Gandhi statue. The project, worth Rs 5,000 crores, is the ambitious Musi Riverfront Development Project in Hyderabad.
Don't make us homeless! Don't make us homeless! Don't make us homeless! Don't make us homeless!
A notification issued by the Congress government to this particular residents here saying that they fall under the buffer zone for their ambitious Musi Riverfront project, so that they have to be evacuated. This particular notice issued to them, they have given them 60 days time to evacuate this particular residents. However, the residents here are claiming that this particular notice will make them homeless, will throw them out of their house, and they have been living here for several years and decades with their families living here for several decades, and asking them to evacuate this particular resident just in 60 days is something that is unacceptable, and the residents here have been protesting.
The project is facing backlash from the residents, mostly retired defense personnel and senior citizens who have lived there for decades.
They want to acquire entire apartment. We have 2 blocks, entire 6 point some change land. They want to acquire. They gave a notice for the acquisition. They are following the process of the acquisition, and we requesting them. We doesn't want to. We had our GBM unanimously passed a resolution not to surrender our land.
The project, named Gandhi Sarovar Project, estimated to be set up in a sprawling 200 acres, has become controversial, with the government deciding to evacuate nearly 500 families living in Madhu Park Ridge apartments in Banglagura Jagir near Musi River. Residents claim that they do not oppose the project, rather they urge to implement without having to displace them.
Okay, I purchased this flat in 2017. So that time I have verified all the legal documents. Okay, that time we came to know that according to GO 2010, the builder need to leave 9 meters buffer zone. As you can see, there is a more than 9 meter buffer zone is there. After that, in 2012, they released one more GO where they mention like any new construction which is beside river bed, they need to follow 30 meters buffer zone. So they already given permission in 2010, and this construction is completed in 2012. Already people are occupied these flats. So now suddenly they are saying it is illegal and builder didn't follow the 30 meters buffer zone.
Meanwhile, Mahatma Gandhi's great-grandson, Tushar Gandhi, have strongly condemned the move, saying displacing residents to create space for a Gandhi statue is the most un-Gandhian action, and appealed the Telangana Chief Minister to not do it. The Telangana government clarified that structures earmarked fall within the designated buffer zone. However, residents claim that the apartment complex, built legally in 2007, did not come under the buffer zone and oppose the proposed acquisition. Residents are protesting the move for the past 10 days and are adamant on not moving out of their homes.
Getting some more updates coming in. A short while back, there was a stinging observation made by the CGI on the NCERT controversy. CGI has observed it seems like a calculated move to undermine the courts. This is coming in after Supreme Court has also issued sweeping directions to the NCERT over the withdrawing of the Class 8 social science book from an immediate ban and seizure of copies to seeking names of authors and meeting minutes. The CGI Suryakant has laid down strict compliance steps for the council and the state education departments on the NCERT controversy. Let's play out the reactions.
जिस पर आप लोगों ने संज्ञान लिया?
नहीं, देखिए, बार बेंच में तो आक्रोश था ही, लेकिन बार भी जो इस इंस्टीट्यूशन का पार्ट है, बार और बेंच दोनों, तो बार को भी ये बात अच्छी नहीं लगी थी। कल परसों भी हमसे कुछ लोगों ने प्रश्न किया था, तो मैंने कहा था कि ये बहुत ही आपत्तिजनक है, या ऐसी ढंग का चैप्टर नाबालिग बच्चों के सामने ये परोसना या देश के सामने ये परोसना बड़ा ही अनुचित है और इसका कहीं से कोई जस्टिफिकेशन नहीं हो सकता है। तो बार भी इस पर आक्रोशित था और बार आक्रोशित है।
सर, ये सभी किताबें हटा ली जाएंगी? कोर्ट ने आदेश तुरंत दिया?
हाँ, तुरंत आदेश दिया है कोर्ट ने कि सारी किताबें।
PM Modi expresses displeasure over the NCERT textbook, viewers. Big updates coming in, viewers, on Republic TV. PM Modi expresses displeasure over this textbook. Just telling you exactly what has happened so far. We have already seen that the CGI has taken objection to the NCERT Class 8 book chapter, which was on corruption in judiciary. Prime Minister Modi has also expressed displeasure over the NCERT textbook just moments after the CGI has taken some serious objections to the new NCERT Class 8 book containing portions regarding corruption in judiciary. CGI said he will not allow anyone to defame the institution and will take appropriate action. Yesterday, we had seen that this has created a lot of controversy for the past few days. We are seeing these updates coming in as the CGI has pulled up the NCERT over text on judicial corruption. Now the PM Modi has expressed displeasure over the NCERT textbook. Prime Minister Modi also going ahead and expressing displeasure. Sources say Prime Minister Modi has raised the issue in the Tuesday Cabinet. Education Ministry Secretary sent a show cause notice on this entire issue, coming just after the Supreme Court had taken serious exceptions to the Class 8 NCERT textbook containing reference to corruption in the judiciary. Just today itself, the bench led by CGI took suo motu cognizance on the matter.
जब ही ये घटना मेरे सामने आई, मैं तुरंत ही एनसीईआरटी को निर्देश देके सारे किताबों को विड्रॉ करवाया। आगे वो ना जा पाए उसकी सारी चिंता किया और उसको विड्रॉ करने का निर्देश दिया। न्यायपालिका को कोई भी असम्मान करने का कोई उद्देश्य ही नहीं था, सरकार के उसमें कतई उद्देश्य नहीं था। जो घटना हुई है उसको हम गंभीरता से लेते हैं। एनसीईआरटी के ऊपर उसको और इंक्वायरी किया जाएगा। जो भी व्यक्ति उसमें से उस किताब को बनवाने में, उस चैप्टर को बनवाने में संलग्न है, उनके ऊपर कार्रवाई की जाएगी और आगे ये गलती ना हो, हम न्यायपालिका को आश्वस्त करते हैं।
Okay, we're getting these updates coming in. PM Modi expresses displeasure over the NCERT textbook, and according to the latest update that we're getting, this is source-based information, by the way, saying PM Modi will be raise this issue in the Tuesday Cabinet. The Education Ministry Secretary has been sent a show cause notice on this. Also say Prime Minister questioned oversight on allowing the chapter. So big updates, viewers, coming in. This is just after this entire controversy. The background of this controversy is that the newly introduced NCERT social science textbook for Class 8 outlined key challenges facing the country's judicial system, including corruption, a heavy backlog of cases and an inadequate number of judges. So when the CGI heard this case earlier, they said that heads will roll because this is a calculated move to undermine the judiciary. I want to go straight across to our senior executive editor, Abhishek. Abhishek, Sources say PM Modi raised this issue in the Tuesday cabinet, and there would be more question that Prime Minister Modi is raising. He's questioning the oversight on allowing this chapter in the first place.
Well, you see, subsequent actions actually confirm that Prime Minister has expressed displeasure, not necessarily the Tuesday cabinet, because the issue has surfaced subsequently, but for sure he has done that because of the kind of actions we are seeing with the government, not just withdrawing the said textbook or the content, asking the NCERT to pull back all the books that have gone into circulation, but also ordering an inquiry as to how the chapter came into or got slipped into the textbook of Class 8 Social Sciences when at that junior level you do not have those kind of topics under a discussion or under study. So I think the government has acted, and obviously this has gone right up to the level of the Prime Minister after we saw how the topmost levels of judiciary, including CJI, expressed displeasure at the manner in which judiciary itself seems to have been targeted, or at least perception that got created that judiciary has been singled out when it comes to corruption. And I think in that sense, the government effectively pulling back on the NCERT textbook issue, and after Prime Minister really indicated his own displeasure at the manner this lack of oversight keeps happening repeatedly in the case of Education Ministry. I think even the Secretary has been pulled up. Maybe there would be some rolling of heads also in some time, Shivangi. That's what we are getting to hear. But for now, at least the book has been withdrawn. Inquiry has been ordered into this lack of oversight, and NCERT has been asked to pinpoint responsibility and make sure accountability is fixed for this lapse post the displeasure that was shown by topmost levels of judiciary, including the Chief Justice of India.
That's right. Yeah. Yes. This is a big update coming in here, viewers on Republic TV. And Abhishek, we already have seen that CGI has taken objection to the NCERT book on corruption in judiciary. They've even in the court earlier today, we were pointing this out. It was pointed out that the PDF files of this chapter are available. So that would also be a concern to make sure that the PDF files are not circulated further. However, what next can we expect now? Prime Minister Modi has raised this issue, and we can expect faster action to make sure that the PDF files and any other lapses when it comes to this chapter, they're closed on time. Yes, go ahead, Abhishek. All right, we will go back to Abhishek in a short while from now, but this is a huge update coming in on Republic TV, viewers. Prime Minister Modi has expressed displeasure over the NCERT book. Supreme Court has already cracked down on this book. They banned the chapter, the judiciary chapter. We already see that the Supreme Court has asked for an immediate ban, seizure of copies, including the PDF files and digital files which are doing the rounds, seeking names of authors and meeting minutes. CGI has laid down strict compliances for the council and state education departments. The Education Ministry Secretary has been sent a show cause notice as well. So big updates coming in, viewers of Republic TV. Prime Minister Modi expressing displeasure. It's very obvious, like Abhishek Kapoor, our senior executive editor, was saying, that there will be strict compliance and an accountability exercise that we will be expecting next. Let's go ahead and play out some more reactions.
जब ही ये घटना मेरे सामने आई, मैं तुरंत ही एनसीईआरटी को निर्देश देके सारे किताबों को विड्रॉ करवाया। आगे वो ना जा पाए उसकी सारी चिंता किया और उसको विड्रॉ करने का निर्देश दिया। न्यायपालिका को कोई भी असम्मान करने का कोई उद्देश्य ही नहीं था, सरकार के उसमें कतई उद्देश्य नहीं था। जो घटना हुई है उसको हम गंभीरता से लेते हैं। एनसीईआरटी के ऊपर उसको और इंक्वायरी किया जाएगा। जो भी व्यक्ति उसमें से उस किताब को बनवाने में, उस चैप्टर को बनवाने में संलग्न है, उनके ऊपर कार्रवाई की जाएगी और आगे ये गलती ना हो, हम न्यायपालिका को आश्वस्त करते हैं। जब ही ये घटना मेरे सामने आई, मैं तुरंत ही NCERT को निर्देश देके सारे किताबों को विड्रॉ करवाया। आगे वो ना जा पाए उसकी सारी चिंता किया और उसको विड्रॉ करने का निर्देश दिया। न्यायपालिका को कोई भी असम्मान करने का कोई उद्देश्य ही नहीं था, सरकार के उसमें कतई उद्देश्य नहीं था। जो घटना हुई है उसको हम गंभीरता से लेते हैं। NCERT के ऊपर उसको और इंक्वायरी किया जाएगा। जो भी व्यक्ति उसमें से उस किताब को बनवाने में, उस चैप्टर को बनवाने में संलग्न है, उनके ऊपर कार्रवाई की जाएगी और आगे ये गलती ना हो, हम न्यायपालिका को आश्वस्त करते हैं।
Okay, getting this big reactions coming in on Republic. PM Modi expressing displeasure over the NCERT textbook, and we can expect, like we were discussing, more compliance and accountability over this issue. So back-to-back updates coming in here on Republic TV. Let's also tell you exactly what has been happening since morning. Supreme Court has taken a serious exception to the Class 8 NCERT textbook containing reference to corruption in the judiciary, and Prime Minister Modi has also expressed displeasure over the NCERT textbook. We're also seeing sources say that Prime Minister Modi has questioned the oversight on allowing this chapter in the first place. Sources say that Prime Minister Modi has sought accountability for this chapter on judges. So this is what we see right now, viewers. Back-to-back updates coming in here on this story. Already we see that the CGI has said that we will not allow anybody to defame the Supreme Court. CGI has himself pulled up the NCERT over text on judicial corruption. And Prime Minister Modi made history with his address on this happened at the Israeli Parliament. Knesset, becoming the first Indian Prime Minister to do so, he delivered a powerful message of solidarity with Israel, emphasizing India's firm stance against terrorism. Terrorism anywhere threatens peace everywhere, he asserted, highlighting India's own experiences with terrorism, including the 26/11 Mumbai attacks. Take a look at what Prime Minister Modi said as he threw light on India's weight behind the Gaza Peace Initiative, saying it holds the promise of a just and durable peace in the region. Take a look.
Honorable members, I also carry with me the deepest condolences of the people of India for every life lost and for every family whose world was shattered in the barbaric terrorist attack by Hamas on October 7. We feel your pain. We share your grief. India stands with Israel firmly, with full conviction in this moment and beyond. No cause can justify the murder of civilians. Nothing can justify terrorism. India has also endured the pain of terrorism for a long time. We remember the 26/11 Mumbai attacks and the innocent lives lost, including Israeli citizens. Like you, we have consistent and uncompromising policy of zero tolerance for terrorism with no double standards
Getting some breaking news coming in. DGCA has revised air ticket refund norms. No additional charges for charges within 48 hours of booking. Passengers can now cancel or change air tickets without paying additional charges within 48 hours of making the booking. This is a big update coming in. Let's tell you exactly what is happening here. This is a change to refund norms. So this is becoming more passenger friendly. Basically, according to the latest update that we're getting for our viewers. So let's tell you exactly what is happening here. This is DGCA revising air ticket refund norms. That means no refund, no additional charges for if it's cancelled within 48 hours of booking. Passengers can now cancel or change air tickets without paying additional charges within 48 hours of making that booking. So big updates coming in here, viewers of Republic TV. And let's go straight across to my colleague. Yes. Harsha joining us. Okay, DGCA making air ticket refund norms more passenger friendly. Finally, Harsha, that means no additional charges for changes within 48 hours of booking. Now, you know, this is a big relief for passengers. This is what we have been highlighting, that that flights and airlines should be passenger friendly.
Yes, you rightly pointed out, Shivangi. It was after, the Indigo mess and Indigo chaos in the month of December. We saw that how was the Indigo fiasco. The passengers were stranded at that time at the airport and they were asking for cancellation and refund. For all our viewers, for all our passengers, we are telling here that if a ticket is booked in 24 hours to 48 hours, their cancellation fee will not be charged by the airline. The airline will have to not levy any cancellation charges, and the change of the name and the tickets could be cancelled in 48 hours. In case of the medical emergency, they will only have to put up a medical certificate with the same PNR number, and they will be given a refund shell or your given time in which the amount will be refunded. So there's a huge passenger relief. Almost more than 23,000 complaints were received by the regulatory bodies of the airlines regarding the refunds and the cancellation. This was an ongoing long debate regarding the cancellation and refund policy of the airlines. The passengers were continuously stating that there's a huge amount which is levied by the airline, whenever they try to cancel their flight or, try to change their name if the name is improper. At that time, the cancellation fee and the changing charge are additionally charged. But this time it will not happen like this. But to passengers, we are telling you this: if you are booking a flight, be very vigilant, because it doesn't apply for a departure, lesser than 7 months. So the domestic travel, it has to be more than 7 days, and the international, it has to be more than 15 days. In the international, the departure should not be less than 15 days. The domestic departure should not be less than 7 days. Only then you will get your cancellation fee full refunded. There will not be any charges which will be levied by the airline when you try to cancel your particular flight, or there is a name changing issue or the name changing error during the time of the booking. So this is very important, passenger friendly. The CAR rules has been revised by the regulatory body as of now on 24th February when we are talking right now. So the huge relaxation for the passengers who book their ticket. They don't get they are levied the cancellation charges by the airline, not anymore the cancellation charges by the airline within 48 hours of booking. Back to you.
All right. Well, thank you, Harsha, for getting us all those details. This is a passenger-friendly move which has come in from the DGCA. Okay, let's move ahead to some of the other stories we're tracking. On the edge of India's western frontier, brave soldiers stand guard day and night. The Indian Army's Western Command showcases unmatched combat readiness and lethal precision. Take a look at this report as our forces are ever ready.
On the edge of India's western frontier, where our courage has been tested time and again, the Western Command of the Indian Army lays bare its unmatched combat readiness. From Dhyanchand Stadium in Pathankot, a demonstration of power and precision unfolds. The Bihar Battalion, a unit at the cutting edge of ground warfare, stands shoulder to shoulder with the Ashni platoon, the Indian Army's aerial power. Apache helicopters, intelligence and surveillance vehicles, and state-of-the-art counter-drone systems display a combat network built for the 21st century battlefield. Every tank, every drone, every system is not just hardware, it's a statement emphasizing that India is prepared and India is vigilant. Meanwhile, as Western Army Commander Lieutenant General Manoj Kumar Katiyar addressed the nation, he honored the heroes of Operation Sindoor, the campaign that delivered a decisive, resounding response to cross-border provocations. In his address, the Western Army Commander laid emphasis on how crucial last year was and how the army gave Pakistan a befitting reply in Operation Sindoor. He warned sternly that if Pakistan attempts again, India will teach them a hard lesson. He also asserted that the danger is not over yet, and this time preparations are heavier than ever.
सिंदूर में जैसा आपने देखा कि हमने 7 तारीख को उनके सभी टेररिस्ट बेसिस पर हमला किया था, उसके बाद उन्होंने कुछ जवाबी कार्रवाई की और उसके जवाब में जो हमने उनके मिलिट्री बेसिस, एयर बेसिस को जिस तरह से बर्बाद किया, उसके बाद उसने फिर सीज़ फायर की मांग की। और सीज़ फायर की मांग सिर्फ डायरेक्टली हमसे नहीं की, हमको लगता है कि और भी देशों के पास उसने अपना ये मैसेज भेजा कि हमें इंडिया से सीज़ फायर करवा दो। नहीं, हम उसकी जहाँ भी इस तरह की हरकतें हैं, कार्रवाई हैं, हम उस पर पूरा नज़र रखे हुए हैं और हमको इस बात का ज्ञान है कि वहाँ पर क्या कार्रवाई हो रही है, वो किस तरीके से अपना टेररिस्ट बेसिस को अगर रिजुविनेट कर रहा है या दोबारा से इकट्ठा करने की कोशिश कर रहा है, तो हमें उसकी जानकारी हासिल है।
Across the border, Pakistan's military leadership clings to relevance by conflict, by exploiting terror proxies, and also by reviving terrorist networks.
पाकिस्तान आर्मी का सपोर्ट है, हमको लगता है कि इन्फिल्ट्रेट कराने में पाकिस्तान आर्मी भी सपोर्ट कर रही है और जो टेररिस्ट ट्रेन होकर आ रहे हैं, हो सकता है उनकी ट्रेनिंग में भी पाकिस्तान आर्मी मदद कर रही है।
Yet time and again, they underestimate the Indian Army's reach and resolve. On the other hand, Operation Sindoor was surgical, precise and decisive. Terror bases were neutralized. Pakistani military installations were heavily targeted. Sindoor 2.0 is being meticulously prepared, deeper, faster, stronger. From drone systems at Western Command to tactical innovations within the Bihar Battalion.
पिछली बार जो हमने किया, इस बार हम कुछ और करेंगे, उससे बढ़कर करेंगे। किस हद तक करेंगे और कितना अंदर जाकर करेंगे, ये ऑपरेशनल प्लान का डिटेल है। तो जब ये ग्राउंड पर होगा, आपको महसूस होगा कि इस बार जो हुआ है वो पहले से ज़्यादा हुआ।
Remember how Pakistan was in fear, how Shehbaz Sharif was seen worried, and how he went on prostrate and begged for a ceasefire.
जो हमारा पाकिस्तान से बातचीत हुआ था, 7 तारीख को हमले के बाद हमारे डीजीएमओ ने मैसेज भेजा था कि हमने अपनी कार्रवाई पूरी कर ली है, अभी हम बात करना चाहते हैं, पर उसने उस समय बात करने से इनकार किया। और उसके बाद जैसा आपको पता है, अगले 88 घंटे जो लड़ाई हुई और उसके बाद उसने फिर हमको अप्रोच किया। जब उसके मिलिट्री बेसिस पर बहुत ज़्यादा नुकसान हुआ, तो उसके डीजीएमओ ने फिर हमारे डीजीएमओ को अप्रोच किया कि हम बात करना चाहते हैं।
Meanwhile, speaking on US President Donald Trump, claiming that Shehbaz Sharif would have died if he did not mediate, the army commander said this. From the skies above to the land beneath, the Indian Army integrates intelligence, surveillance, and cutting-edge defense systems. Where Pakistan relies on bluff and terror, India relies on innovation, preparedness, and the unyielding valor of its forces. Operation Sindoor was a warning. Today, the Indian Army's might is on display, and a clear message has been sent to Pakistan.
Moving ahead, viewers, the Kerala High Court has granted an interim stay against the release of the film. The Kerala Story 2 goes beyond, saying that prima facie there is a non-application of mind by the censor board while certifying the movie. Justice Thomas has passed the order on 2 pleas challenging the release of the movie. The film was scheduled to be released on February 27th. Here are the reactions.
Once the film is cleared by the CBFC, I don't think we need to really look into this. And why the row has erupted is because the Kerala state government had put a case and they were not very happy with the first Kerala Stories, and now the Kerala Stories Part 2. So the issues continue because when you're depicting the reality of a state which has been happening and what we saw in Kerala Story 1 and then what we are showing in Kerala Story 2, I think when you're depicting what is collected from the data, and the data is not something which is created, it is what is out there on the platform for everyone to see, the realities. And if that we say that showing that as a real reality to be put out as the real picture, and if that is an issue, then I don't know what else can be shown. But yes, I've seen that the court has observed, saying with a very strong statement that it can disrupt the communal harmony of Kerala. And I don't know how that is going to go down well, but Kerala is known for a very, very harmonious state. And we'll have to wait and watch, because for 2 weeks there's been a stall on the film release. So we'll have to wait and watch, and I think the producers are going to fight it out, and we just have to wait and watch what happens. But I wouldn't look at this as the victory of the Kerala government. I would see rather tell a very clear picture to others who probably at every given opportunity, at a drop of a hat, they say that it is everything, whatever happens, whether there's a CBI raid, there's an ED raid, or there is something about banning a film, or stopping the release of a film, then it's like, okay, BJP is trying to arm twist and asking the government and taking all the independent bodies in their hand, and they're trying.
Getting some big breaking news coming in, viewers. Another major global fallout of the Epstein Files scandal. President and CEO of the World Economic Forum has now stepped down. This is a huge update coming in. Has resigned. This is a few weeks after the forum launched an independent investigation into his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Huge updates coming here on Republic TV, viewers. This is one more fallout. The Epstein Files. The WEF president has now put down his papers. He has resigned. He just announced his decision in a statement following disclosures from the U.S. Justice Department that showed that he and some other he had some business dinners with Epstein, and also communicated with Epstein through emails and a text message. Huge updates coming here, viewers on Republic TV. Another Epstein case fallout. The WEF chief has quit after ties to Jeffrey Epstein. This comes after disclosures from the U.S. Justice Department that showed him having business dinners with Epstein. Like we told you, that this is coming after WEF had launched an independent investigation into his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Big updates coming here, viewers on Republic TV. Back-to-back updates of these world leaders, some of the leaders who have stepped down due to ties with Jeffrey Epstein. Because whoever is in touch with Jeffrey Epstein and all the emails which have been coming out, viewers, it is really raising a lot of questions, put a lot of pressure on those who are communicating with him. In the latest the World Economic Forum CEO has quit after the ties with Jeffrey Epstein have been scrutinized. Big updates coming here, viewers, on Republic TV. And this is coming in, like we said, a few weeks after the forum launched an independent investigation into his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. All right, viewers, so big updates coming in. He put our post out after careful consideration. I've decided to step down as president and CEO of the World Economic Forum. My time here, spanning 8.5 years, has been profoundly rewarding. This is the message that he has sent just after as he stepped down. Huge updates coming here, viewers of Republic TV. One more fallout of the Epstein files. This time it's the WEF CEO who has now stepped down after an independent investigation which was launched, which tried to scrutinize his ties with Epstein. The president and the chief executive of the World Economic Forum has announced that he is stepping down weeks after the organization launched an independent review into his past interactions with the convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. And he made his announcement after disclosures from the Justice Department showed he had attended multiple business dinners with Epstein and had also communicated with him through email and text messages. This is after the independent review had concluded. The independent review was conducted by outside counsel, and according to the findings, there was no additional concerns beyond what had already been disclosed publicly. Huge updates coming here, viewers. One more fallout of the Epstein files and the departure of the president and CEO of the WEF marks one more fallout of the Epstein files which have been released. This is the president and the chief executive of the World Economic Forum announcing that he is stepping down weeks after the organization launched an independent review into his past interactions. Niranjan is joining us. Niranjan, one more fallout of the Epstein files. This is the WEF president who has now resigned.
Well, that's correct. This is, one world, global sort of personality after the next is facing the Epstein heat now. And all of them with links. And this is basically the Epstein stain has reached Davos. Jacques Brende, he's a former Norwegian foreign minister. He was head of the World Economic Forum, which of course, hosts the Davos Summit, what is called the Davos Summit, the World Economic Forum Summit at Davos every year. The Epstein files scandal has reached Davos with the president and CEO of the World Economic Forum now having to step down after an independent review. There was an independent review, and after this independent review, he's been forced to step down after his links emerged to Jeffrey Epstein. Now, there is a new president who's been announced, an interim CEO and president announced for the World Economic Forum, and that is Alois Zwingli, we are told. If I got that name correct, he's the interim president and the CEO of the World Economic Forum. This is weeks after the World Economic Forum had launched an independent investigation into Brende's interactions with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. So this is very big. The fact that more and more world leaders, last week you had, a trade envoy, former Prince Andrew, brother of Charles, being arrested and later let off. And then you had ambassador of the UK to the US being arrested and then later let off. So this is a story that's going to get bigger because global figures are going to face the heat for their links to Epstein. And there are so many names, so many sex offenders, not just Epstein, all of them possible pedophiles. We don't know, but investigation is on. Let's see where the story goes. Back to you for now.
All right. Well, thank you, Niranjan, for getting us all those details. WEF President Borja Brende has now resigned after an independent review into the Epstein files and his ties with the Jeffrey Epstein. Taking a short break. Do not go anywhere. We will be getting you all the top updates. Next is 6 Stories at 6.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा, मसाला
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला। MDH।
Now here's the reality, it's fact not fiction. You are sitting on a plane. You're boarding the plane in the national capital of India for Leh at 6:08 in the morning. It's a SpiceJet plane. 6 minutes into the take, against the backdrop of daybreak and a beautiful sunrise, you suddenly look to your right towards the wings and you see the flames of fire on the wings of the plane. Your plane is on fire. Ladies and gentlemen, these are real visuals. This is the reality that the Civil Aviation Minister does not want you to see. This is the reality SpiceJet does not want you to see. This is the reality DGCA does not want you to see. Because at the cockpit, at that very moment while you're sitting in the plane, there are calls of Mayday, 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 Mayday. That is a flight emergency. The flight circles back. There's engine failure in one of the engines, lands at 6:49 p.m. Ladies and gentlemen, and as you get off the plane, you realize this is the same SpiceJet. This is the same SpiceJet that does not have the money to play the Bangladesh government, which is why it had been, I don't know the present situation, not allowed to fly in Bangladeshi airspace. They're out of money. Who is the owner of it?
MDH की देगी मिर्च,
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का।
MDH की देगी मिर्च। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, delicious, healthy, every day.
Now here's the reality, it's fact not fiction. You are sitting on a plane. You're boarding the plane in the national capital of India for Leh.
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो, मिलाओ और खाओ। 8 मिनट में तैयार। क्या टेस्ट है, सबका राजा हार्डकोर मसाला।
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Hello and welcome. You're watching 6 Stories at 6 on Republic. I'm Ishta Mitra and we've got all the top stories of the day lined up for you ahead in this show. Now, starting with, in a sweeping escalation of its probe, Enforcement Directorate held a second round of questioning with the Reliance Group Chairman Anil Ambani in a massive case of money laundering. Now, ED has also attached aboard Anil Ambani's Mumbai residence pegged at rupees 3,716 crore rupees in connection with the alleged bank fraud involving his group company Reliance Communications. The trail of the alleged financial irregularities was not confined, in fact, to Indian shores.
Anil Ambani's liabilities extend overseas as well, with reports now indicating dues of nearly 13,000 crore to Chinese banks. Here's more on this expanding financial web. Take a look.
The ED has intensified its probe into the alleged financial irregularities involving the Reliance Communication and Anil Ambani's asset. Today, Anil Ambani appeared before ED for the second round of questioning. A day after provisional attachment order was issued under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act against a luxury residence about worth rupees 3,716 CR.
बैंक धोखाधड़ी मामले में ईडी ने बड़ी कार्रवाई करते हुए उद्योगपति अनिल अंबानी के घर को अटैच कर दिया है। मुंबई के बांद्रा के पाली हिल में स्थित आलीशान घर अनिल अंबानी का अटैच हो चुका है। मैं तस्वीरें दिखा रहा हूं कि अनिल अंबानी का घर का ये 17 मंजिला है जो आलीशान घर देख रहे हैं। राजमहल जैसा बनाया गया था और फिलहाल ईडी ने अस्थायी रूप से इसको अटैच कर लिया है। 66 मीटर ऊंचा है यह घर और जो इसका जो कीमत बताया गया है 3,716 करोड़ की कीमत बताया गया है।
With this action, the total value of assets attached in the case has risen to around rupees 15,700 CR.
The Enforcement Directorate has intensified its action against industrialist Anil Ambani, attaching assets worth over rupees 15,000 crores so far in this money laundering probe. The ED action follows a CBI FIR alleging loan diversion of over 2,200 crores. With these attachments under the PMLA, the assets can neither be sold nor be transferred pending adjudication.
Shockingly, the case spreads beyond the geographical confinement. Anil Ambani linked companies receive funds from the Chinese banks as well. Anil Ambani owes rupees 13,558 CR to Chinese lenders.
They have sought loan from a consortium of banks. Once this loan was actually received by these companies, they were basically diverted to third-party companies and eventually it was siphoned off. Effectively, those loans became NPA. Now, it turns out that these companies, despite weak financials, they were essentially given money loan from the banks purely because of certain guarantees that were given. All this while, Anil Ambani has essentially maintained that these were decisions that were taken by the board, and the very fact that the board wasn't being dictated by Anil Ambani himself.
Documents accessed by Republic shows lendings from the China Development Bank, Export-Import Bank and Industrial and Commercial Bank of China. With the attachment of about and now Chinese banks entering the frame, the probe into one of the India's most high-profile corporate investigations has placed Anil Ambani under the intense scrutiny.
And now viewers, the Supreme Court has come down heavily on the NCERT over a controversial Class 8 social science textbook that referred to corruption in the judiciary. In fact, Prime Minister Modi has also expressed displeasure for the inclusion of the corruption part in the textbook. Now, in a strongly worded hearing, the top court imposed a blanket ban on the book's production and distribution, ordered seizure of all the physical and digital copies, while also issuing a show cause notices to senior officials. Here's a detailed report. Take a look.
In a strong response, the Supreme Court cracked down on the controversial NCERT textbook. Chief Justice of India, Surya Kant, said that the issue cannot be taken lightly, calling the chapter a calculated move that could influence young minds. The court ordered immediate removal of all physical and digital copies and imposed a blanket ban on further distribution. In the latest update of the NCERT row, Prime Minister Modi expressed displeasure over the inclusion of the respective part in the textbook. NCERT has been directed to file a compliance report within 2 weeks, with the director held accountable for enforcement. The court also signalled possible contempt action in the matter. The Chief Justice said that if the chapter is found to be deliberate, it could amount to criminal contempt. Show cause notices have been issued to senior education officials, and the court has sought details of those who drafted and cleared the chapter. The case will be taken up again after 4 weeks. This came after a media report flagged a Class 8 textbook section titled Corruption in the Judiciary. Senior advocates raised the issue before the Chief Justice, after which the court took suo motu cognizance. The bench said that the chapter highlighted allegations against the judiciary but failed to reflect its constitutional role, calling the narrative one-sided and potentially damaging. After the court's remarks, NCERT responded. It called the chapter an error of judgment, halted distribution, and said that the content would be withdrawn and revised. An apology was also tendered in court. However, the bench questioned whether the apology was genuine or a response to mounting pressure.
And now, viewers, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi was not only welcomed in Israel but celebrated as he delivered his historic speech at the Israeli Parliament. Now, on the second day of his visit to Israel after 9 years, Prime Minister Narendra Modi met Israeli President Isaac Herzog. The two leaders discussed several ways to further improve cooperation in sectors such as education, startups, innovation, tech and connectivity. And as the details of the bilateral meeting are still awaited, defense and tech cooperation is there on the cards for India. Defense being a prime target, India looks forward to Israel's best-known missile shield Iron Dome. The bilateral political ties are also warm and forward-looking between India and Israel. Here's more for you. Take a look.
India and Israel exchanged key memorandums of understanding following the delegation-level talks between PM Modi and Israel's PM. Israeli Minister Gila Gamliel emphasized that several agreements will be signed to boost cooperation in agriculture, AI, cybersecurity, defense and other key sectors. Defense partnership and counter-terror cooperation took center stage. Talks focused on strengthening India's multi-layered air and missile defense architecture, including the collaboration on ballistic missile defense. Discussions also explored on joint development of mid-air refueling aircraft to replace aging IL-78 tankers and enhance the Indian Air Force's strategic reach. India is already procuring systems like Barak 8, Spider, Heron UAVs from Israel with a joint production under Make in India. Israeli President Isaac Herzog encouraged young Indian students to come to study in Israel. He emphasized the connectivity between Israel and India can change the entire geostrategic situation towards the advancement